morning, Europe. We are live with the English broadcast of the University Esports Masters. I'm Leah. We've got some Rocket League for you today, and joined with me on my left is Alec.
Hi, nice to be here. Nice to be here. We had a very good playoff season last weekend where we saw top 8 teams that you're going to see in today's stream battle it out to secure their place for the playoffs. Lots of interesting games that we have lined up for us here today.
Yeah, first off, we have our two remaining UK entrants going up against each other. Well, they only started with two, but they're both still in it. They came out of Swiss seeds 4 and 5. It is Roehampton TLR and Roehampton Black. And played each other once already, went to game 5 in a best of 5. We're going to have a slightly longer amount of time to play against each other. Do you think that changes things in favor of either team, Alec?
Uh, maybe they both did pretty well in the playoffs, obviously making it through to where we are now in the top 8. Just having a look here. We have Roehampton TLR going 4-2 in the Swiss, as well as Roehampton Esports Black going 4-2 as well. So yeah, this best of 7 could potentially be what is needed for either one of these teams to make it out on top.
Yeah, and all things considered, I feel like that's the best reference point we have. Right, they've all played a massive variety of teams over the course of last weekend, from a massive range of skill levels. Of course, the teams that ranked above them were Boom, Leiden, and Genoa, and they were all incredibly strong teams. And it just so happened that when things sort of traded out, they ended up all tied with each other, and it was these two which ended up drawing each other.
Yeah, well, we are just gonna go into the game very, very shortly. Of course, looking at the bracket for today, we have. Yes, looking at the bracket for today, we are gonna see the first game Roehampton TLR and Roll Black playing up first on stream, with Pesto Genoa and AP Titans going head to head as well. With Leiden University, Novo Florence, they're going to be third game of round number 1, and Dr. Buman with TUD Vertigo. So a lot of good games for round number 1, and that's going to really set the tone for the rest of the day.
Yes, and well, I would say on paper, a lot of the other matches that we're not showing could be, quite convincing sleeps. Convincing sleeps. Oh dear. Convincing sweeps. It's early, everyone. I'm so sorry. Florence have previously beaten Leiden. It was a 4-2 in the CRL winter bracket, to make the top 8 pretty much. And it was a massive shock to everyone involved, but ultimately shows, and I think they showed it in the Swiss as well with their game 5 against AP. Leiden are inconsistent, and they could easily drop a series unexpectedly. And I think the semi-final later, should Leiden make it, will be a show of how much resolve they've actually gained since that winter season.
Yeah, definitely. Now, having a quick look over here, yeah, so you are going to be able to vote on the best clips from the playoff over on our X/Twitter, University Esports Masters. You're going to be able to vote for the best clip over there, and teams are going to be able to gain, I believe, €25.
That's a sweet treat.
Definitely a
I
good
feel we
sweet
could
treat
get
as
one of
well.
those like very large kind of trying to get my hand in shot here. Very large like gummy bears sort of things from the candy store.
Yeah, that will always be a nice little sweet treat for the players as well, and lets them be recognized for their work. You can also, just make sure you're following the socials, make sure you're keeping up to date, as we will be posting a lot of the clips and just keeping the socials updated. So it's going to be a good one today.
It is. It is. Now, one thing I do want to sort of draw our attention to, if we go back to the current series, is that Roehampton TLR have a coach, and Roehampton Black kind of do as well, but their coach is playing for them, or was last week, and I don't know what roster quite that they're showing up with yet. That's JSW. And do you think having a coach will have played an influence in their series last week? Do you think it has more of an impact in these longer series, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but their coach is Scottish player Freecam. I believe that's the coach that they're running with. Yeah, so Freecam being quite a good player, I believe. I've seen quite a lot of him before in other series. I believe I've played him. Good player. So having a coach is going to give you a bit of a mental, a bit of an advantage over another player. You're able to take a step back, reevaluate the situation. We are going to go and look at the University Esports Masters calendar for right now. Yeah, so today, May 11th and May 12th are the playoffs for Rocket League, with the grand final being tomorrow. And it is going to be a very, very, very good season for University Esports Masters.
Indeed, indeed. It's a very, very solid, very varied mix of games. Of course, this is the largest collegiate event in Europe of this spring season. If you want to watch the best universities play each other, this is the channel to be watching. You want to be following. I don't know if you want to skip those ads. You might want to consider subscribing as well, and just really getting involved. And of course, if you're at university, it's too late to try and qualify now, but definitely reach out to your societies, try and get a hold of some other good players, and maybe we could be commentating over your gameplay in a year's time.
Yeah, definitely. It's such a good thing to get involved in. But we are going to be going on to, obviously, the playoffs today with the Roehampton Derby starting it up. And these teams are going to be competing for a chance at that massive cash prize pool that we have on offer. It's a pretty good prize pool, €2,100 divided, of course. All these teams are going to be battling it out for first place. And if they don't quite make first place, there's always going to be your second, third, and fourth, which are going to be compensated as well.
Yeah. And of course, you think about it, you only need to win two series and you're in that top four. That's €50. That's like, I don't know, a couple takeouts, some new exam equipment, that sort of thing. It's no small sum, especially in a university complex.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a great prize pool to have in the back pocket, as well as if you get that 35, €25 from the playoffs voted on the Twitter/X. So there's a lot of money up for grabs today, which is it's gonna be vital for these teams. Obviously, university students, we're all needing that extra bit of money just to go towards everything. I believe now we are gonna be going into first game very, very shortly.
Yeah, we're rapidly approaching midday here in the UK. That's the target time for these teams to be getting onto the little teams. I'm not entirely sure what map we've got up first. I'm going to assume it's probably like Manfield Night or something. That would be be a
Mm,
very traditional starting point. I guess maybe one final touching point before we dive into this series is the domestic results. Row Gold have always beaten Row Black, but we saw in the Swiss stage it was close. We also saw that they very almost lost in that grand final, or it's a double elimination bracket. There was a bracket reset to go if they lost it, but you never want to end up in that spot. There's so much more pressure on the line when you don't have that series in hand, and you feel like you've wasted so much effort just to get to game seven and lose it to your B team, no less. When you get into that kind of scenario.
yeah, definitely. But we are having just a quick look at the map pool for tonight. Manfield Night is going to be the first map that's going to kick us off. Well, as Forbidden Temple will be followed by DFH Stadium, Utopia Dusk, Aquadome, Salty Shallows, with Neo Tokyo and Champions Field is going to close us out for the map pool.
Wait, is Salty Shallows the name of the pitched one? I
I
mean, I
believe,
get the
yeah.
naming. It's just
Yeah, I believe so.
Has telling me yes in my ear. Um, I guess they do have some amount of creativity and humor in Psyonix's design department.
Yeah, well, a good map pool. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing a champions field today. We were luckily graced with a champions field in our last game of the playoffs last week, where we saw five back-to-back sweeps, which was not in the cards. However, game number 6 took us to champions field, so hoping to see another champions field pop up.
Yeah, and well, there's potential for I think 7 on stream over the course of the weekend. It would be nothing short of a strong start to get one here, and I think it would be par for the course given some of those recent results again.
Definitely. Now, I believe we are gonna go into a prediction here. Top three predictions. How are we feeling? What are you predicting
Top 3.
for? Yeah, top three for the grand final. Who's making top three?
Okay, so Genoa is winning this Pesta University. I think that almost goes without question. They went unbeaten in Swiss. They've not dropped a series all year. Swept Florence in their domestic final. Swept Roehampton in the CRL final in the winter. Um, who's going to join them in the top 3? I think Leyden have been looking hot but inconsistent. I reckon they're either going to play second or fourth. Dr. Booman probably second or third, and that kind of leaves Row TLR in third or fourth.
Very good prediction. Well, in order for that prediction to be somewhat right, we are gonna have to see Roehampton TLR beat Esports Black in the first game. Yeah, I completely agree with the Pesto Genoa taking it. They played extremely well in the CIS. I believe going 6-0. Yeah, completely dominant. The second and third spot is kind of hard to get a grasp on who's going to take second and third. You know, there's anything that could happen on the day. But sticking with maybe Roehampton, TLR, Leiden, Dr. Buman, they're all really good teams. It's just going to be like down to a matter of how they feel on the day.
I reckon Roehampton Black have at least decent odds of sneaking that fourth place out if the bracket falls their way a little as well. It's really tight, I think, among those second through fifth place teams in the Swiss. And Turds also went 4-2, but had that slightly easier route, which leaves me with some doubts as to how well they're going to perform. And I think we'll have to see based on the results of the series against Booman.
Yeah, definitely. And now, if we have a look to the other teams in the bracket, I believe the ones that had qualified were, correct me if I'm wrong, AP Titans and Novo Florence in the tiebreakers. Yeah, Novo Florence and AP Titans, I believe, were the ones that took the final 2 spots in the tiebreakers. It was good to see those 2 teams come through, especially how they played with the Swiss. So it's going to be a very exciting just bracket to see all these teams.
For sure, and it's nice that we've got some national variety in there as well. Obviously, 2 Italian teams, 2 British teams, not the most ideal. We wanted to see perhaps a little more variety, and I think Madrid perhaps were a little unfortunate to have missed out given the strength of their time in Swiss, but ultimately they lost to AP. I think possibly twice, or like Novo and then AP. So they had 2 shots and missed both to make these playoffs, and so can't really dispute that too much, I don't think.
Definitely not. Well, I believe now we are just waiting on the players, and we are going to get going into the game very shortly. This is going to be the Roehampton Derby to kick it off with number 1 game of the stream. It's going to be a good one. We are expecting Roehampton TLR to take this, but Roehampton Black, they have a chance. You know, they also went 4-2 in the Swiss. You never know.
Yeah, very nervy. And I'm sure first series of the day, they realised on stream they'll have done it last week, but it's possibly a bit earlier than they're used to playing, maybe still recovering from their morning coffee jitters um, when we hit the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. It is going to be a really interesting game to see as we are going to go into the game now. Game number one, Roehampton Black versus Roehampton TLR. TLR are going to be on the blue side, Roehampton Black on the orange, and that's almost the kickoff goal starting game number one.
And contrary to, I think, what I was talking about before, that is Yotam on the pitch making a return. So I don't think we saw much of them in the domestic playoffs, but I'm sure going to be trying to make their presence known as much as possible against the team that dropped him over the Christmas break.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now we are going to see maybe a bit of a counter attack from Roehampton Black. Yotam trying to get the 50. He isn't going to be able to quite get that. Be now a passing opportunity for TLR, but Black, they're playing quite aggressive at the start of this game so far.
Yes, and I think fortunately not seen too many early goals, but that is a nasty whiff from Neo Kwan, the pinch with Jacob going to clean things up nicely and get this ball scrambled into the safe zone, but opposition corner where it's going to be a little harder for Roehampton TLR to do anything with it.
Yeah, going into 3 minutes 50 on the clock now. We are just seeing both these teams kind of, just take the play slow, feel each other out, see where the mistakes are going to happen. There's not too much action yet. Obviously, that kickoff goal could have nearly went in for Roehampton TLR. However, both these teams taking it very, very slow. TLR looking like they have a bit of advantage. However, we are going to see Roadblock maybe start to push here, but Arrow's up looking for the double. Isn't going to be able to quite get it, though.
Yeah, and it's a shot that I'm very used to seeing Arrow just slap into the back of the net, really, but seemingly didn't have the boost, maybe a bit of a heavy first touch preventing him getting back on that ball. And those missed opportunities are going to allow Roadblock some opportunities on offense here. Neoclan going to beat out Arrow, but I think that's ultimately going to end up being a pass to Risen.
Yeah, 3 minutes remaining on the clock now. It's still a scoreless game, but that could change at any moment. We are seeing TLR push back into their corner. Arrow just taking the ball slow, feeling out the other team. Yotam is going to challenge that, and that is going to go down in front of the net. Could be a shot. It is going to be a shot on net for Roadblock, and that should have not went in.
Yeah, that one bouncing down, Risen, misreading the play, and I've got to say, to turn the ball around like that is bold, given Neoclan was there, but a very impressive display of ball control there from Yotam.
1-0 to Roadblock with 2 minutes 45 remaining in the game. Oh, that maybe shouldn't have went in. However, it's gonna go in nonetheless, and that's gonna bring us to 1-0 so far. We are gonna have to see TLR kind of pick up the pace a little bit if they're gonna want to, bring the game into a tie, maybe bring it to overtime. However, we are just still seeing a very, very slow-paced game.
Well, slow seems to be working as Risen taps down into the top right-hand side. I'm going to say a lovely dribble from Stat here. Yotam, I think, did quite well to get an initial bump on air after a touch, but ultimately didn't get a piece of the ball. The ball flies over that midfield line, over lots of people's heads. It's an awkward control for Jacob and Neoquan to have to deal with, and that ball ultimately falling to Risen, going into the back of the net, and nothing that Roehampton Black defense can do. They can maybe recover it, though, with a nice double tap. Neoquan putting this down for Yotam. It's a bouncer Arrow with a weak tap. And that one is going to find its way into the right-hand side of the goal.
Yeah, Neoquan there with a nice little double tap to pass over to Yotam. It's just going to slot that in the net. Arrow with a soft touch, as you mentioned, but it isn't going to be enough to keep that ball out of the net. That's going to bring us to 2-1, a 1-goal deficit. And Roadblock are going to be on top of this game. But yeah, like I mentioned, it is still a very slow-paced game. We're not seeing both teams play too fast, just still seeing them feel each other out.
I think Red Black have demonstrated they might be slightly better at controlling the pace. Their counter-attacks have been speedy. Of course, the trickle down from the 90 between the backboard and the ceiling of the arena is what they used to get that first goal massively through off Risen. And maybe we can see them get some more quick touches into areas where it's awkward for this Roehampton TLR side to deal with them, and then bring it back to the sort of pace that Roehampton TLR are slightly more comfortable with when they want to fall back onto defense.
Yeah, if you compare TLR on their gameplay right now to the Swiss stage. They were very, very aggressive when we saw them play. And right now, they are just kind of taking it a little bit slow, but it is working in a sense. Obviously, this game only a 1 goal deficit with a minute left, so anything is possible. You are going to see start with a shot on the open net, though, and that is going to be the goal I'm on about. That's going to bring us to 2-2 with 1 minute left.
Yeah, Neoquan kind of running out of boost there forces Yotam up into the air, and I think Jacob, assuming Yotam had that ball nice and easily, pushing up that little bit too far, and then the ball again sailing past, and nothing you can do really once that ball's behind you, because even if you do get a touch on it, you're probably just hitting it even further back. But Hampton Black, though, back on offense, looking to recover that recent equalisation. Not if Stat has anything to say about it. A pass down to Aero, the air dribble being continued, reset, gain, but blocked out by Neoquan to the side, and we're going to continue forcing this through.
40 seconds left on the clock. We could very well be in for an overtime in the first game and match of the stream. Be a very, very exciting way to kick off the stream, but that is going to be on net, and that might be a bit difficult for Roadblock, but they are going to clear it at the end of the day. 20 seconds on the clock now. Might just go into that overtime, but it is looking like TLR are trying to push towards the net now, but Yotam taking a nice soft touch, controlling the ball, gets a flick, but it isn't going to do much. We are going to get the demo as we go into the final 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think Stat maybe with a bit more boost there could have presented a real threat, but it was very much a last-ditch effort to try and get that ball into the net before the timer ran out there. Overtime in game one, always a bit of a weird one, because the teams should have felt each other out by now, but might be getting a little fatigued. It's the part of the game we might see those mistakes creep in. Of course, I'm sure FreeCat will be trying to talk to the TLR players after this game to try and correct some of the mistakes we've seen from them early in this series, but might not get a good opportunity to do that while they're so focused on trying to get a goal that will secure them this game. It's another ball to the backboard. Yotam Yo Boost is going to get it past one, but Stat in a position to carry this through the air again.
Yeah, 40 seconds of overtime now. We're not really seeing any team with the upper hand. Obviously, talking about TLR having the coach, that might be a bit of an advantage in the later games. But right now, they are still feeling each other out.
Hang on, I think
overtime. However, it might just be an open net, but there is going to be a save from Risen.
And that loose touch actually might put things back in the other side's favour here. Neoquan and Yotam double committing on this ball. Fortunately, it's going to fall to Jacob as we see the play slow down once again, we hope.
Yeah, going into 1 minute 15 of overtime. Good first game to watch. Obviously, it's going to set the tone for the rest of this series so far. However, yeah, having FreeCat, that coach, sitting, just watching you play is going to be a huge advantage for TLR in the later games. But right now, they are just going to have to feel each other out, and that could have been a shot on net, but it is going to go over to Yotam. He's going to try and somewhat of a counter, but Aero is up now. Getting a good 50. Over one, it's going to 50 with Jacob as well, and that is going to fall over to Stat, but Stat is going to be beat by Yotam, and this could be an opportunity for Roblox.
Well, not with that demo. Stat opening up a lot of space now, shutting down Neoquan. It's a 3v1. Neoquan is going to get enough of a 50 for the ball to spill out to Jacob. And we go around once again, 2 minutes off the clock in this overtime. Stat bumped off this ball now. Jacob going high. Anyone to beat on the backboard, only Risen, who's going to play this away, but use a lot of their boost in doing so.
Yeah, we are seeing just a lot of boost consumption. We're seeing people run out of boost. The boost management isn't going to be that good, but at the end of the day, Roadblock, Jacob is going to take final goal of game number one. Nice, good use of his boost there. He's going to just dunk that in the net, and that is going to be Roadblock taking game number one.
That's a massive and crippling capitalization on Aero's miss on the sidewall there. I know he's got better car control than that, but just leaving a loose ball for Jacob, who, you know, has been the coach for the longest time for this Roehampton Black side, to step back onto the pitch and showing that actually he's still got it. He can still dribble. He can still perform that absolutely nuts dunk on some of these top-level players. And that's something that Roehampton TLR are going to have to respect a lot more if they're going to make their way back into this series.
Yeah, a very, very evenly matched game, give or take. Obviously, with the 1 goal deficit. having 8 shots from Roehampton Black compared to the 6 from Roehampton TLR. So it was a very, very evenly paced game. It is first game of the day. There are going to be, a bit of first game jitters, feeling each other out. Maybe a bit of an upset to the score that we were expecting. We did expect TLR to take first game, to take the series. However, it is a best of 7, so they have time, obviously, to just, breathe, talk to their coach, come back stronger.
Well, we'll see how much time they spend over it. It surely can't be long before we head on to Forbidden Temple, if I'm not mistaken. A bit of a change in scenery, and that is where we are. Pink clouds, overcast, and maybe we're going to see a blue goal explosion off the back of this kickoff. We saw some early shenanigans not resulting in a goal before, and it looks as though, I'm not going to speak too soon on that one. That was luckily sketchy, but it looks like we might not see any goals come from that yet again here.
Yeah, almost another kickoff goal, but that is not gonna be the case for game number 2. Going on to, as you said, Forbidden Temple. It's a pretty good map, one of my favourites. It's nice to see it in the game, and it will be nice to see if Roadblock can keep up the momentum. However, we are going to see TLR now, maybe with an opportunity, but that is going to be shot down immediately. Stat is already up in the air, getting one touch, trying to get the 5th, but Neoquan going to get a better touch from it over Risen as well, using the flip, trying to get over Aero, and that's not going to be the case.
Ball's actually spelt long there. Roehampton Black forced to really go the long way around to try and take control of some of these balls, maybe pushed up or bunched up a little too much to try and maintain control. You're always trying to position so you've got 97% of the balls straight away without having to move backwards, but that means there's always a 3% chance the ball's going to go over your head a bit, and you have to be positioned far enough that you can deal with that. I actually respect the blocking of a shot there from Jacob. Makes the defense slightly more awkward, even if it does look like he just blocked his own mate's shot. Neoquan with a touch, Yotam pinching it to force it high. Stat with a follow-up. Neoquan tipping it onto the crossbar. Jacob now pinching off the crossbar again. Aero off the backboard, full Stat, but it's high. Surely there's someone boost to cover this, but no. Entirely run out on the Roehampton Black side, and Risen, after what felt like an era of balls bouncing around this net, is going to slot it in.
Yeah, Roadblock keeping up the incredible defense, but at the end of the day, it was just a little bit too much from Road TLR with the pressure, and that's going to be goal number 1 in favour of TLR. 3 minutes still remain on the clock. Roadblock do have plenty of time to take the game back. However, Star with a flick now, it is going to go just wide. However, Yotam just sitting there circling the ball, taking the play sort of slow. We saw Roadblock did really well with the slow play in the first game. I think TLR, they're not quite used to that. They're used to playing quite aggressive, obviously seeing that in the Swiss stages. But we are going to see a nice, slow and aggressive mix of plays today.
That's if TLR allow Roehampton Black to get any real touches on offense this game. It's felt like a total shutout. I'm struggling to think of an example of a shot. There was the one that got blocked, I suppose, by Jacob to try and ensure it was more difficult for defense to deal with. But that's really it. I think Jacob really needs to stamp some authority with this air dribble. They're looking for dunk on the Stat, but Stat is just going to get that control, and they are going to get a nice aerial 50 with Neoquan and his ball all of a sudden on the back line once again. Jacob, very lucky to dodge the first demo, is going to get taken out by the second, and Roehampton TLR looking back in control of this series now.
Yeah, the first game, probably just a bit of a warm-up game for TLR. They were just feeling out Roadblock, trying to see what was best, maybe spoke to Freakant, their coach, getting ideas, getting different plays on what's going to work against Roadblock, and now they seem to be in total control of this game. They have not really let the ball leave the orange half. It is going to be a very, very exciting series to watch as we go into the final 1 minute 50 of this match. Aero is up, he is not going to get the touch, however. The ball is going to go nice over to Start. It's going to be cleared all the way over to the blue side. This could be a double tap opportunity for Jacob. It's not going to be. The ball is still there though. Neoquan, nice touch there onto the backboard, but Risen is going to make the touch. We are seeing Roadblock play super aggressive now, trying to make that goal. So it's a 1-goal deficit, but it isn't going to look like that's the case so far.
And what gets me is that they're trying to do the same thing I think Roehampton TLR succeeded in doing before, but their boost management hasn't been anywhere near as good. They weren't able to get anywhere near as many steals as I think Roehampton TLR were able to get, and as a result, they were just able to keep defending like a brick wall against some fairly close range, quite weak shots as that ball was firmly in TLR's domain.
Yeah, well, we are going to go into the final minute remaining. Yeah, we are. I think in the series, we're just going to have to see both teams look out for the mistakes, pick up on these mistakes, maybe go for more demos, more boost steals, like you've mentioned. So, yeah, we are going to have to see them kind of use more mechanics, think a bit more, rather than just, zone in, autopilot in the game. And it does look like Road TLR are going to have this game secured nicely as we go into the final 30 seconds. Maybe take another one for the road as Risen is up. He is going to have the flip, but he isn't going to be able to use it. His boost is going to run low. And yeah, we are going to go into the final 20 seconds with a 2-0 scoreline.
Yes, and of course, it's kind of shortening the series when you see it like this. Each game progressively gets more tense. You feel like you know your opponent better, but all it takes is a change of game plan. And maybe you find yourself on the back foot for the first 2 minutes of the following game. Roehampton Black surely not wanting to afford too many opportunities, and that consolation goal, I'm sure, will be improving morale in that camp.
Yeah, bringing this to another 1-goal deficit game that is going to boost morale. Nice little pass over to Yotam from Jacob. That is going to bring us to game number 2 in favour of Roehampton TLR. So we are starting to see what we predicted. So it is, yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting series to watch.
Yes, and looking down that scoreboard, I don't think it's actually as lopsided as perhaps I was making it out to be. Roehampton Black putting up 7 shots there to TLR's 10. That's, an allowable difference. I've seen some games where a team can be, on 2 goals from 3 shots against like 3 from 15, and you're just thinking, there's probably something up with the shooting there, but both teams showing they've got quality on offense. They've got a lot of quality on defense. We saw how long both teams were able to stall out some incredibly high pressure attacks.
Yeah, we saw quite a few saves as well. Obviously, seeing Roehampton Black with 5 and Roehampton TLR with 3. We are going to go into game number 3 with a tied scoreline so far. We are going to hope to see one of these teams feel more comfortable and kind of just take the series under control.
Yeah, I think one thing I am going to draw people's attention to, I'm not sure Roe Black are all quite on the same page. I'm seeing a lot of overlap in positioning, especially on defense, when I think they have the time to communicate their way out of any misplays, as it were. On offense, a lot cleaner, but we saw before Neokwan half flipping to get onto the ball, Yotam diving in, using maybe 40-50 points of boost to get into the same spot, and ultimately Neokwan and Yotam both were going to be making the same touch out the back of that, and that boost management is going to come back to plague them as Jacob almost tips that onto his own net.
Yeah, almost another kickoff sort of early goal. However, starting out with a flip reset, he is going to run out of boost. He's going to have to pick up that 100, rotate out. Yeah, like you mentioned, Road Black, they are overlapping a bit of double commits that we've seen in the first 2 games. They're gonna have to just take a step back, reevaluate their positioning, what they're doing. I suppose that's where having a coach really comes in helpful, as that almost goes in the back of the net for Roehampton TLR. Having that coach sitting back, watching you play, being able to talk to you about what mistakes you're making, how to improve, that's going to be the advantage that TLR have over Road Black.
Wait, is that on?
That is on there.
That's a massive defensive passing play, and it's very subtle as well. Yotam, never play the ball across the face of your own net in ranked. Please, as a friendly enough at GC, but if you know your teammate's there, you called the pass, they have a lineup, and if it goes on, then it's going to be a goal. You absolutely want to be making a defensive pass like that.
Yeah, a bit of an overcommit from the third man from TLR, and that is going to be quite easy. An upsetting goal for TLR, actually. That's going to be quite an upset. They put up such a good game in game number 2. And to lose the first goal of game number 3, just a bit of an overcommit from third man. It's going to be an upset. They still have 3 minutes left to take it back. that goal and make it a tie. Maybe bring us to another overtime. Start now with the pass out to Aero. Neoquan makes the 50, but it's going to go in Aero's favour. The ball almost in the back of the net. A beautiful save nonetheless. Now Neoquan maybe with a counter uses his flip quite early, but that's going to be passed by Risen over to Aero with a shot on net. And we are seeing the game pick up pace quite substantially.
And I think like Roehampton Black have started to find each other again. We saw the momentum switching a little bit as Risen looks to get a tap underneath that ball onto the goal. Oh, hang on, Risen. That's a nut save. That is a nut save from Jacob. That is outrageous. He's just jumped at the ball off the back. Well, that's the worst possible positioning, and the ball has been played directly into him. Roehampton Black, surely counting their lucky stars. But to get back to the point I was making, have been looking more cohesive since I initially made those remarks.
Yeah, Roadblock, the defense that we've seen in the first two games and this game as well, has been incredible. Obviously, that save was absolutely nuts. Going into the final 1 minute 40 left, a flip reset over to the pass to Risen, both a double commit in goal. That's going to be another shot that can be saved by Neoquan. And yeah, talking about the double commits that we had earlier on in the series, we saw another one there that could have lost the lead for Roadblock. We are just going to maybe have to see them take a step back and talk about their position and talk about the fact that they're overcommitting, but that is on target. It is going to hit the crossbar.
How do they make it work? Okay, they double commit twice in a row. They're all on low boost, and then passing play. Bam, bam, massive clear down the other end for net. Neoquan not got an opportunity. If they get a solid dunk on stat, they haven't. They are going to get another opportunity on this ball to set up their team. We're just stalling out the time. Jacob with an awkward touch. Yotam, lightning reactions there to keep the ball out of the net. And Aero now in a very awkward zero boost position.
Going into the final 50 seconds of the game, Roadblock are up 1-0. We are seeing TLR very, very aggressive. Tons of shots on net. Tons of passing plays as well, which have been working out for them. But Roadblock's defense has just been incredible. The saves, especially from Jacob, have been absolutely beautiful to watch as that goes in the back of the net. Neoquan is going to bring this to a 2-goal deficit for Roadblock.
I mean, I feel like that first one maybe deserved to go in the way. It just like rolled around that upper 90. It was so solidly placed. But yeah, the follow-up also very good. Roehampton TLR looking out of place, frankly, in this series so often, getting caught with not enough boost in the tank, trying to force the play before its time, in my honest opinion. I think they've gotten used to, for so long, just being able to go for big aerial plays, but not against this team, not against Yotam, who has made a remarkable return here.
Yeah, definitely. And that is going to be another one for Jacob, for Roadblock. And that bump was absolutely incredible. Yeah, Aero right there with a bit of a missed touch. That bump, that's going to be Jacob that is going to take goal number 3.
12 seconds now. Roehampton TLR surely looking towards game number 4 now. Freecant scrambling, I'm sure, to work out how to piece together this crumbling team. The options seemingly running out. Only 2 more games need to go in Roadblock's favour before this is all over, and I'm not entirely sure the ordering of how the games fell in that first series, but I'd be reasonably confident in saying that Roehampton Black wouldn't have gained the lead on 2 separate occasions in that one.
Oh, definitely. No, well, that is going to be a bit of an upset for TLR as well as the coach Freecant, obviously. I keep talking about having the coach, and right now it doesn't seem like it's going in favour of TLR. You would think it would, having a coach, having someone there to just talk over the mistakes that you're making. But Roadblock have seemed absolutely just in control of the games, minus losing the last one. They have seemed like they are in control.
Yeah, I mean, there's maybe a point to make about maturity here. Neoquan played in the high school league for Exeter. I think barely missed out on a championship there. Knows what it's like to have some of these gutting losses, and is playing alongside JSW and Yotam, who narrowly missed out on the World Championships in Dallas last year. And are, of course, quite old as well in their own right. Yotam, I think, doing his 2nd degree, JSW firmly in his final year now. And I think both players knowing how to play the game in a way that's not going to get them massively tilted and in a way that's respectful towards their teammates. And keeping that calm is exactly what's going to deliver them games against a younger, less experienced team like Roehampton TLR, even if mechanically and in rank they might be better on paper. And Yotam looking to open things up here. It's disaster. Freecant had no impact apparently over this break as Stat is caught going away from that ball as Yotam takes it by himself.
Yeah, and that is going to be a real upset. That is going to set the tone for game number 4 with Roblox taking a kickoff goal. Especially in such a fashion with the Yotam, but this could be another one for NeoClan as it's going to be a double tap, and that's in. That's 2 goals for Roblox off the bat.
It's maybe worth mentioning at this point that Roehampton TLR have not lost a game against a British team this academic year. If Roehampton Black were to hold out for 2 more games, that would be the first series dropped total.
That is going to be quite an upset. I can imagine that, and that is going to go back in as well. That is a 3-goal lead so far, and that's less than 20 seconds off the clock. This is Yotam, a nice little touch over one there, and Stat isn't going to be able to make back 2 goals.
That's a goal every 6 seconds so far. We'd be looking at around 30, I think, by the end of the game if they were to keep that up. And there's actually a lot of boost out of the way. I think Yotam has the potential to get a 4th here, and Vic said it's off both the crossbar and the post, but ultimately going to be deflected away. Roehampton TLR sparing themselves some embarrassment. I feel like it's pretty dire to be 3 goals down against your B team, no less, after this amount of time.
Yeah, 3 goals down with no more than 30 seconds, well, no more than a minute gone off the clock. But this could be the counter-attack for TLR as they're looking to get one in the back of the net, take that goal back down to 2-goal deficit, and it is just going to dance around the goal there. It's not going to find its way in the back of the net just yet. But yeah, going 3-0 to your B team is going to be quite an upset in morale as well. Having that coach Freecant, maybe he's going to be able to get them in a better mood, but Aero is going to slot that one in the back of the net to bring it to 2-goal deficit, and that could be the boost that they need.
Well, if there was a player to put Roehampton TLR on their shoulders, it would be Aero. Hands down, one of the most mechanically strong players on this pitch. I'd say, probably far and away, given some of their previous goals, just not had the opportunities to show it quite so much, being shut down very well by this Roehampton Black side, but that double commit was enough of a gap for Aero to slot in. Stat looking to help out there now. Aero actually getting back on time with boost to help out. Should get a touch here, if not for Yotam, slotting that into the upper corner of the arena. Stat carrying this long, and it's a weak look by NeoClan, leaving Jacob awkward, but attack to the side will keep this game at a 2-goal separation.
Yeah, this game is looking like it could be a lot more winnable for TLR, obviously with 3 minutes left on the clock, plenty of time, and it seems like they've kind of picked up the pace a bit. Unfortunately, letting in those 3 goals that early is going to kind of put them on the back foot of this game, but we are seeing them pick up the pace with Stat, a nice little touch to the backboard, and Risen gets a shot, but it is going to be saved nonetheless, and this could be a counter-attack for Roblox as Yotam's going to head it over to the corner. He's going to have to rotate out, not a lot of boost in the tank. We are just seeing TLR kind of pick up the pace substantially now. We're seeing Jacob with a touch over to the corner, maybe passing them to Yotam. Bit of a miss flip from Risen there might leave TLR's goal open for Roblox to slot another one in, and we are seeing a lot of demos on the field.
And those demos, I think, were what was missing in game number 2 for Roblox. They had decent offense. We saw they got a goal at the end, but when they had that period of pressure with around 60 seconds left on the clock, what they couldn't do is put the ball in the back of the net with simply too much boost and too many players around. But with a touch like that, Yotam should be doing all the setup required to put it in the back of a goal. But when there's 3 players in the back of the net, that's sometimes a little more difficult.
Yeah, it's looking like TLR, they are having to sort of scramble when Roblox are putting up these shots. They're sort of double committing now, and they're scrambled. They're completely fried at the moment. They're just trying everything to break through Roblox's defense as well as their offense. Very, very offensive this game. and they have just been in total control. We're going into the final 1 minute 30 of the game now. Start taking the ball back into the corner, pick up the 100 boost. A good opportunity for him here, but we are going to see Neoquan challenge that with 50 in the air. Now maybe a touch for Roadblock. That isn't going to be the case. Arrow in the corner with Risen. A bit of an awkward spot for them. So we are going to see that flip over Start, and that is just going to be an open net. And Yotam is going to score another goal this game.
Very much just a knock-knock. Who's home? Literally no one for Roehampton TLR. It wasn't even that impressive a flick. They've been stretched too thin, though. They're trying to do too much with not enough time. And now we need a goal, something like every 23 seconds, which would be a feat. And so right, if they can do it, but with kickoffs going against them as well, that's surely going to be incredibly difficult. And the throw on that scale should never come out from a team like Roehampton Black with this much maturity, this much experience, as I was talking about before.
Going into the final 40 seconds of the game. It does look like Roadblock have this one in the bag. Maybe taking another one to go, but Aero is going to get a bit of an awkward touch, but a save nonetheless. Start is up, getting the flip reset. He is going to use it, try to get over Jacob. That isn't going to be the case. Neoquan now with a bit of an awkward touch, but a pass over to Yotam or Jacob in the middle. Start looking for a flip reset. It's not going to happen. Going into the final 20 seconds of the game. Roadblock have this one secured. Gonna bring them to 3-1. Are they gonna take another goal on the way? It looks like they are going to, as Jacob is gonna score the 5th for Roadblock.
And yeah, a 4-goal deficit in game number 4 to put Roehampton Black on 3 match points, I should say, over their 18 was not the script I had written down at the start of the series. I'm very fortunate you didn't ask me for a prediction on the exact scoreline of this match a while back, because I could not have told you this was going to happen. Aero with a consolation goal here, but it means very little when they have to prepare for a very tough 15 minutes ahead of them.
Yeah, just a bit of a goal to kind of boost morale, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a 3-goal deficit. Maybe with another kickoff goal. You have seen Roadblock with the kickoff goals, obviously, this game. But yeah, if Roadblock are going to take game number 4, that is going to put them up 3-1 in the series, and they have played super well. That was not what we had predicted at all for game number 1.
We do of course have to hold it now. We saw Roehampton TLR in a very similar spot playing on land not so long ago. They got to a position where they were something like 4 match points up, then lost the subsequent 3 games, took it after going 0-2 down in the final game of the series, and then just barely by the skin of their teeth, I think getting the winning goal with 6 seconds left on the clock. And that was on the other team essentially crumbling under the realization that they might be the team to take down Roehampton TLR. Roehampton Black need not fall for that pitfall here.
Yeah, definitely. But Roehampton Black played that game perfectly, was always under control. Yeah, 10 shots. 10 shots in total that game. Compared to, they had 5 saves as well. So yeah, they were completely in control of that game. They didn't really make any mistakes. Obviously, letting 2 goals in for TLR. Those goals, you know, it didn't seem to upset them. They kept the pace, they kept their morale, and they kept their head up high. And now we are going to go into game number 5. Roadblock 3 up compared to the one in the series. That is going to be almost another kickoff goal for Roadblock, and they're keeping the same momentum and the same sort of theme as last game.
That is an opening goal. Once again, Roehampton TLR left searching for a goal. They've only managed to recover a deficit once. That was in game number 1, and they still lost the game in overtime. Roehampton Black definitely feeling pretty good about this, needing to make sure that they don't crumble under any late pressure, though. And of course, it's these early goals which are spelled disaster for TLR in the last game as well. Really needing to clean these up, I think, for their seemingly inevitable lower bracket run at this point.
The TLR, you know, they're a very good team. So when you're seeing all these kickoff goals going in, especially from their B team, they're kind of having to think what is going wrong. Maybe it's just not their day. Maybe they're not having just good sort of vibe about the day. But they did manage to take one game so far. There still is always the chance that they make a comeback. Aero with a flip reset, gonna send the ball over into the corner. Yotam is just gonna pick that 100 boost, leaving Aero without any. Start taking the ball up high, but Neoquan is already up, passing that down over to Yotam now, who is just gonna get a bit of a touch. Neoquan, no boost again. We are gonna have to see probably a lot more demos like we have seen in the last couple of games. We have to see a bit more demos and a bit more mechanical play if these teams are going to want to break either one.
Yeah, I feel like maybe, anyone who's watching has probably played Rocket League since they introduced these little in-game boost meters. You can only see them for your own team when you're the one in the game. That's a passing play. Hang on, we'll come back to the boost meters thing in a second. Stat. Off the side, well, Jacob just playing it forward. Yotam realizing that his teammates had it, making an opportunistic play. And you can get greedy when you have leads and you have 3 map points in hand, because Roehampton TLR have to respect everything that you do, or it's going to be the end of their series, and they weren't respectful enough in that case.
No, definitely not. But yeah, gonna circle back over to the boost thing, like you were saying. Yeah, the update of the boost, it's very, very, it's good in the sense that you can see what your teammates have in the tank, but Yotami is just gonna slot that one in. And we're trying to talk about the boost, and you're seeing Roblox just not let us have that opportunity. A good goal nonetheless to take us to 3-0.
I guess maybe the point to make is, and I don't know if it's exactly what I've seen, but sometimes teams go for a fast cheat in the kickoff. They'll bring that second man really close to the ball, and at the same time, the player going for boost in the back corner will also be turning into the pitch at the same time. And if the ball goes backwards, all that happens is the player that's cheating on the other side needs to move forward a bit, take a shot, and that shot net should be open for them if they lose that kickoff. And some teams like to do it because it allows them to get a lot of pressure if they get a neutral kickoff or even a positive one. But you have to get that first, and TLR really haven't been managing to do that.
No, definitely. The kickoffs have just been what have let TLR down, especially with the last game, obviously losing so many 2 kickoffs or very early goals. And maybe, they're a very, very strong team. They're holding their own when we get past that awkward kickoff start of the game. But when it comes to kickoffs, they are kind of just scrambling a bit. They're losing themselves, and they don't really know how to put up with Roadblock, as this could be a shot for Neoquan. It is going to go a bit too high. Yotam with the pressure now. Just taking the ball into the midfield, playing the 50, over for Risen. A bit of a bump there from both TLR members, but Hero is going to go up onto the ball. Going into a minute 50 left of the game. It does look like Roblox is going to have this in the bag, but it's only a 3-goal deficit, so anything's possible.
I think sillier things have been said than that a 3-goal lead at this point is fully in the bag. What disappoints me most, I think, about this TLR side is their best opportunity this game had been off a passing play. It went a little high, it forced a touch, and I think it put the defense on alert of Roehampton Black. And I think I need to see more of that and less of some of these slow dribble plays out of the back lines. When Roehampton Black seems so adept and so used to dealing with this. And that's the passing play I was looking for. They could have tried this 2 minutes ago, but instead they've left them 72 seconds to turn around the series here. Stat for Risen, top right, absolute banger, but another 2 required.
Yeah, we know that TLR can make these passing plays. We've seen it in the Swiss stages, and we've seen it just before as well. And these passing plays are going to be what is needed, but here's the kickoff phase that TLR have been fearing so much in this series. It does look like it isn't going to go too bad for them, as we are going to go into the final minute. 2-goal deficit, anything is still possible, but Roblox are putting up a hell of a fight. They're sitting there with great defense, great offense. Neoquan with a save, a bit of an easy save nonetheless, but is going to stop that from becoming a 1-goal deficit. We are just going to see TLR pick up the pace, but with 30 seconds left, there's not much they can do.
Forcing pace is a very difficult thing to try and do as well. You're not always going to have possession of that ball. And we can see Roehampton Black are teasing TLR here. The ball crawling around this pitch as the timer drops down to 20 seconds. We said they needed 2 in 72 seconds around a minute ago. They're now rapidly approaching 12. And at that point, you need a goal now and you need one off the kickoff. Otherwise, it's just not happening. Stat looking to make the most of his Neo Quando. Going to get a touch. Aero on the boost. Sets it up for Risen, but it's too high. Yotam going to be the one to end Roehampton TLR's streak here.
Yeah, that is going to be a very, very big upset. And Roehampton Black are going to take the game. And that, I believe we were not expecting that. That is not what came out of the prediction desk whatsoever.
That was, no, firmly not in the script. And we said, I think that this was going to be the closest series. I'd be willing to bet there was at least one other series in this bracket where a team that lost took at least one game.
Yeah, it's definitely Roehampton Black, though. They played brilliantly, having 7 shots in that last game. They played brilliantly. Now, we do have word that Pesto, of course, they went 4-0 to AP Titans. It was probably something that we expected, Pesto being the ones that we believe are going to take this final, and we are just going to be waiting on the other series. But Roehampton Black, they are going to kick us off with a win for game number 1.
Welcome to the Amazon University Esports Masters Finals!
It's a wonderful thing. I feel privileged about this situation because we were able to achieve something and we are traveling the country, visiting the country and playing the live final.
Our experience, I met a lot of new people that come from so many different places.
Just being with the team and having fun together and actually trying our best to win the competition.
For the first game of the Amazon University Esports Masters Final. And it's category 5 for Booman Academy. An absolute hurricane has leaped onto AIX, and they cannot withstand the damage. To Booman Academy are your 2023 Amazon University Esports Masters champions. And it seems as if Amsterdam dips in Norway. Only going to take one shimmer on either side to crown this one, and Fabso may just have found it.
Congratulations on your win. As a team now, you get to claim your prize.
Still manages to get a deep. The objective has been wrong and ended. Second player, they're walking one by one into their graves. Wins Club finally, after a momentary pause.
And to all of you watching at home or wherever you might be, we are all grateful that Amazon University Esports Masters exists.
I don't wanna fall for you, oh no. But you make it so hard. Watching you dance all night, baby, is making me fall hard. Trying to take a deep breath, but I just can't control my lungs. Ooh. Trying to hide my cold sweat, but I just keep on talking in tongues. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration. 'Cause I think, yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like you. Tell me if you like me too. How can you move the way you do? It's making me crazy, yeah. You're moving just like you own the room. Make it look easy. I wanna take you away to somewhere we can be by ourselves. I see you looking my way, so maybe it's not all in my head. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration. 'Cause I think, yeah, I think I like it. I think I like you. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like you. Tell me if you like me too.
Thank you.
Hello, and welcome back to the University Esports Masters 2024 Rocket League playoffs. Now, we have just come out of an incredible first game, but like always, make sure that you are following the socials, as that is where everything is going to be posted, updates, etc. And that was a pretty good first game.
That was totally subverting my expectations. Did Roehampton Black there, taking that series 4-1, actually incredibly convincing. It would have been very easy to predict the reverse scoreline there, and not even the only surprise in this bracket. I think AP from Antwerp falling to Pesto University Genoa is the most expected result there. Novo taking 2 games against Leiden, that's the team out of Florence, and TUD, Technical University Dublin, taking 3 games off the current world champions of Collegiate Rocket League. A staggering scoreline, and it went very close in Game 7. I believe they were tied until around a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, very interesting first round. Obviously, just looking at the upper bracket there, it's going to be an incredible round number 2. But moving over to the lower bracket, we have AB Titans with Roehampton TLR, which we did not expect to see TLR down there. We thought that it was going to be Black who were going to be down in the lower bracket. However, incredible first game, and Roehampton TLR are going to have to find themselves in the lower bracket, with Novo Florence playing TUD Vertigo in the other half of the lower bracket. So a lot to play for still. I think apart from the TLR upset that we had, a very just normal, expected second round.
Yeah, it's the teams we expected, but I think Tud have shown that maybe I should be putting more respect on their name. I anticipated them suffering at the hands of Saizedo and Fab, so from that Boomin side, and instead they've shown that actually they can bring the game to some of these teams, and if they can just pull off Game 7 against Boomin, they shouldn't have many issues dispatching Florence.
No, definitely not. Well, we are gonna go underway into round number 2 very, very shortly. Well, if game number 1 was anything to sort of go by, we're in for a really, really good stream. They have an upset, obviously, with TLR making it into the lower bracket, but still, they can, succeed in the lower bracket, bring it back. We are going to go into game number 2 very shortly.
That we are, and I'm just going to have a read down, see, where it is cross late. Aces Finnet of Esports, very strong bubble team back in the early COVID kind of era, and of course Saizedo and Fab, so component pieces of the Wrecking Rockets when they're not in their university branding, the Collegiate Rocket League World Champions in 2023, and a staggeringly strong third place finish in the CRL Winter Finals for Europe last year.
So this is going to be a very, very interesting game to kick off round number 2. And we are just going to see both teams feel each other out. There's nothing happened so far in the first 40 seconds. Obviously seeing the last games where we had Roehampton Black score many, many kickoff goals and many early goals. Doesn't look like that is going to be the case for this series, as we are just going to see them sort of feel each other out. We are going to have a bit more of like an aggressive play from Dr. Buman, which I know that we do like to see them do. They do that quite occasionally. We are just gonna, just get into game number 1 with a scoreless game so far.
Yeah, and it looked initially very promising for Dr. Buman, getting a lot of early pressure, and that might be the opportunity for a nice shot. Fabso firing that one just wide of the target, not using much boost there at all. It was a very ambitious play that almost worked out for them. Has definitely put Leiden on Blue Lightning having to do a lot of work, use their entire boost tank here. Gek and Finnet also up against it. Gek, the one having to dive back, and while there's a lot of boost down this Leiden side, they were all pointing their cars at each other, unable to use it.
Yeah, that was almost devastating for Leiden, almost taking that goal in the back of their net. However, still scoreless, but that could change as Gek is going to put one on target. It is not going to go in. And yeah, we are just seeing these teams sort of pick up the pace now. Seeing them sort of settle into the game, settle into their teams. And we are seeing maybe Dr. Bruman with a bit more of an aggressive play. They have had more control of this game so far. That doesn't mean Leiden are on the back foot just yet. We are going to see them maybe try to push up, but that is not going to be the case. Maybe a shot on it from Fabzo. That isn't going to look like that is the case, and we are still scoreless.
Yeah, it was a nasty second touch. Didn't expect to get the deflection off the ceiling there, and that would have thrown off both sides' teammates as well there. Oh dear, Fabso. It shouldn't matter too much as Dr. Boone will be back on offense again. Fabso going to force us over to the left-hand side, but Leiden aren't ready to take a touch. They're having to play quite defensively and quite respectful because they're really, well, I know they know what Dr. Booman were capable of. They've played them in the winter, and I believe it was a loss, and Dr. Booman showing they're on strong form to do exactly the same again.
Yeah, Gek just caught off guard there, thinking that Zed is going to go for the double. He is going to leave that for Fabzo, who is going to take the first goal of this game. And Dr. Booman on 1. Yeah, I think that was to be expected. We did see them take a lot of control of that game. Like you said, Leiden have to play very, very defensively. Give respect to Dr. Booman. And we are going to see another one on target. And that's going to kick them off into this game.
Yeah, I really don't know what happened in that PUD series now, if they're just able to come out swinging like this. I did see that they had like 4-3 kind of goal surpluses in those final few games. So really just turned on the afterburners there and clearly decided not to switch them off coming into this one. I've got to say it was probably a good choice as Fabzo, keeping this ball close. Going to beat up Blue Lightning. Zedo's there to force out just a total miss from Gek. Sai now under pressure, tapping this one high, and Blue Lightning, the player I'd say most associated with being, the weaker of this Leiden side, having to make the touch there to save them. The boost situation still absolutely in the bin.
Yeah, that could also be another goal there, but we are going to have a very good save from Blue Lightning just to keep that one out and keep 2-goal deficit. Blue Lightning maybe with a shot opportunity now. He isn't going to quite get it. And we spoke to, I believe it was Finnard from Leiden last week in the interview, and he did say that he was very, very confident going into the playoffs. Obviously, they did win their first game against Novo with a 4-2 scoreline. Now going to play Dr. Boomin, is a total different story. That confidence might just be fading away as we go into the final minute of the game.
And that confidence surely going to be restored as soon as Leiden are able to get a goal, you'd hope. But consolation is not really looking likely here as Zedo sets up for another touch off the bat, but Blue Lightning able to get onto the bottom of that ball. Gek out on 0 boost. It's off the post now, and these shots really not being the quality that Leiden need if they're going to beat this very defensive Dr. Boomin side.
Yeah, going into the final 20 seconds, it is going to look like Dr. Boomin are going to take game number 1. We haven't really seen much from Leiden yet. However, that could change in the next couple of games. Going into the final 10 seconds now, maybe a little shot for Dr. Boomin to take another one for the road. The pass is going to go up to Fabzo. It is going to go wide, and that is going to secure game number 1 in favour of Dr. Boomin.
That it is. And well, I can't say hey, I recognise that scoreline. It's definitely a result I think I expected. I know there is that sort of freak sweep in Leiden's favour in the Swiss of this event, but Dr. Boomin have historically been the stronger team. Leiden had that well, I want to say freak loss, but they also dropped 2 games to Florence earlier today, to Florence in CRL Winter, and maybe Leiden are just being that inconsistent side today, as we've seen previously.
Yeah, well, obviously Dr. Boomin, they incredible game to kick things off with 9 shots, and Leiden only having 3. So I bet, yeah, Leiden, they weren't really able to do much. They were playing very, very defensively. They had to play defensively with Dr. Boomin coming off so strong. We're going to hope that Dr. Boomin can keep that up in game number 2.
Well, Sai is looking to put an early stamp on this game here. Bennett cut it off though, or attempting to at least, as this ball continues to bounce around the golden zone of this blue box. Fabzo with a rare miss on the ball there is going to open up an opportunity for Leiden. But again, this looks like it's going to be short-lived as that's a double commit. There's not much boost to go around, and Blue Lightning actually bailing out this offense here by picking up that mid boost.
Yeah, not much happening so far, but we are seeing Dr. Boomin take control of the game like they did in game number 1. It is going to be obviously very interesting to maybe see if Leiden can sort of put up any offensive plays, since Dr. Boomin have been the ones with it so far, but Blue Lightning's shot is going to go off, is going to go a little bit wide. Are just going to see the counter-attack now come from Dr. Boomin, but Blue Lightning is there on the ball. That is on target. Gek with an awkward touch. He is going to have to get another one. Make sure that doesn't go in the net. Maybe almost a bit of an own goal there, but that is going to just narrowly keep the ball out of the net for Leiden for the time being.
The Fabzo now. We'll just take this one from the back corner. It's a long ball that Sai... actually, I don't know. I feel like maybe didn't intend that back pass quite so much. I feel like it slipped out from underneath him, but ended up setting another one of his teammates quite nicely. This ball, again, just bouncing around, though Dr. Boomin haven't found... Oh, it's just going to go in there, isn't it? Oh, dear. Maybe I shouldn't have started speaking about that. I mean, it was a nice shot. It was good pace, 107, and I think I might even be after it. No, Finna just couldn't get to that one. But 107, really good pace on that ball. The Leiden defense out of position there, and that was enough to turn it.
A really fast ball, really good shot placement. That is going to secure goal number 1 for Dr. Boomin. And that is to be expected. We are seeing Leiden pick up the pace like a little bit, though. We're seeing a lot of defensive plays and offensive from Blue Lightning. It's just going to be, getting that team synergy together. It's taking them a bit longer to warm up compared to Dr. Boomin. They already seem like they're in total control. They're in synergy with each other. Leiden now, maybe with a shot, and the demo is going to go off, and that is going to secure Finnard the goal. The confident man from the interview last week is going to strike with the first goal for Leiden of the series.
Every piece working together there perfectly. Get with the initial touch there, drives round, gets that demo, while Blue Lightning is getting that tap upwards underneath the ball to put one of the Dr. Boom defenders, just leaves a completely open net, and Finnard slams it home. Their first goal of this series, and a crucial one, and perhaps the first of many to come. Gek putting them on offense again, Finnard pressuring in the corner, but Sai slowly controlling this ball out of the defense.
Yeah, this is going to be a very good side game so far. Finnard maybe with a shot, it is just going to go high. Blue Lightning is up, can't quite get the double. He's going to run out of boost. He's going to pick up the 100 boost now, and the offense from Leiden is picking up. Now we are seeing them with a lot more opportunities compared to the first game, especially where they're stuck in their own half, not able to make any plays, and Dr. Boomin just ran away with the game. But now we're seeing Leiden put up a very, very offensive game. Yeah, bringing the ball over to the orange half, but Zed is going to be right on that. With another touch over Blue Lightning, Gek is going to have to come in to make the save. With a minute 50 left on the clock, we might just go to overtime. But both these teams are playing extremely aggressive.
And perhaps more aggression to come here. Sai looking to put that one into the blue box of Leighton's defense, but not able to get that one quite through. Zedo looking to continue this, but again, Dr. Boomin's offense seems kind of flat. Once, okay, that's the second time it's happened this game now. What is happening here? They're pretty good at changing the pace, I'll give them that, but goddamn, to go from really quite weak shots to just incredibly quick passing play from that sidewall into the midfield, straight up to the back of the undefended back of that net is something to behold, frankly. Sai now off the corner, going to get a second touch, and that's pretty nice, as we said. Faso with a touch to the backboard, followed up by Sai. A long touch by Gek is going to travel forwards, but it's not quite going to meet any of his teammates.
Going into the final minute remaining, Dr. Boomin with a 1-goal deficit. This could be a 2-goal deficit. It is going to go in almost, but Finnard with a save. That's going to keep that out, and that's going to keep the hopes alive for Leiden as we see the ball travel over to the orange half, but Sai is just going to kick that over to the midfield. The ball is up, however, Get looking for a demo, isn't going to get it. Blue Lightning getting the 50, and we have 30 seconds left on the clock. Leiden still have the opportunity to take this game back, but with a shot is maybe going to go off. Dr. Boomin are trying to desperately keep that from happening.
It's when they have that little wobbling effect that goes in the net, and it's like, I swear the whole thing turned dark there. I should have exploded. But no, a bit more work required from Dr. Boom to find the back of the net, but they can just decide to stall for time now. If Gek will allow them, still in control of this ball, faking outside, looking for a bump of a last one. Finnard trying to pinch it through, but Blue Lightning, well, was right to have no faith. That ball back in this blue half, and it's a long way to go for them to get it back now. Zedo has passed it out to Finnard. If this one goes to the back of the net, it could be an overtime, but Leiden weren't ready for it. It was a risky touch to take, and I think even into hindsight that Leiden couldn't get on that, it was still maybe not the right play there. But Dr. Boomin are going to live to see their second point on the way to a potential sweep here.
Yeah, maybe a potential sweep for game number 2 of the stream. However, Dr. Boomin, they did kind of look like, they had their struggles a little bit. Obviously, Leiden taking 1 goal, courtesy of Finnard, 5 shots from Leiden, and also 5 saves. So Leiden putting up a bit more of an aggressive game compared to the first game when they're backed in their corner. They had to just make save after save. to keep Dr. Boomin out, and unfortunately that was not the case as they took game number 1, I believe, 2-0. Now going into game number 3, obviously Dr. Boomin are going to be the team with the advantage in the series, but Leiden look like they are just getting comfortable and getting started.
And as soon as they allowed any shred of confidence, it just gets ripped apart by the Owl. Zedo finding the bottom corner there, that's such a brilliant play. And again, the speed on some of these balls, the way Dr. Boomin and this orange side in general are able to switch it up no matter what they're playing under is incredible, really. It's the reason they're the world champs. They just really need to keep this up and avoid any slip-ups like in the series against Dublin.
Yeah, just avoiding those mistakes is what's going to put them apart from Leiden. But Leiden, they are a very, very aggressive team when they can be. They just need to be given the time to shine, and Blue Lightning is going to put that onto the backboard, but isn't going to, result to anything. Babzo with a pass over to Zedo, though, and that could be open, but Finner with a nice save. It's going to be followed by the bump, but that bump is going to come too late. I think we are just going to have to see Leiden take a lot more demos, as they are going to get demoed themselves. I think if Leiden take demos this game, and they just kind of open the field up, eliminate the players, every player on Dr. Boomin is an extremely strong player, as that's going to go in the back of the net for Fabzo. But I think we are going to have to see just a couple of demos in favour of Leiden to open the field for them.
They just keep doing it. They just keep doing it. The infield passes are working so well, and I didn't have the opportunity to watch the replays of their series yesterday against Leiden, but clearly something has changed, and if it's those infield passes, well, it's worked brilliantly for them. That's an awkward bounce down. Blue Lightning using the entire tank of boost. Finnet now picking this one up, though. Boomin, I think, taking a little too long to try and deal with that, and that bump could open up an opportunity, but Finnet is going to be denied on the goal line there.
Yeah, we are going to have to see Leiden pick up the pace a little bit, but Dr. Boomin are looking unstoppable. They are looking like they are just going to run away with this series, as that is on net, and Fabzo taking another goal in this game. A nice little goal there for him. I think that might have been just a missed touch from Blue Lightning, setting that ball up in the air for Fabzo, just a slot in the back of the net.
And you really have to wonder, like, what was happening there. That was, not a promising outcome by any means. Leiden sweat yesterday. I feel like that's the part I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Like, Dr. Boomin are good, we know that. I don't think they should have been swept yesterday regardless, but how Leiden go from that to just not being in a position to score any goals at all. Frankly, they've got one this series, and it was the entire machine working together perfectly, and they can't rely on that all the time, because Dr. Boomin are making these two-man plays which seem to be doing the job just fine and don't leave them exposed on defense.
Yeah, we are seeing Leiden sort of take a bit of a different approach that isn't quite working for them, but this ball could go down. Zero is just going to clear that with 2 minutes 20 on the clock. A 3-goal deficit still remains, but that is going to be a shot. It's going to go wide. Finner, he's up for it. Zedo with a nice save. The ball is going to be set up high for Blue Lightning. Isn't going to be able to get there quite in time. Maybe a touch from Finner. It isn't going to look like that is going to be the case. Heck now with a shot over to the corner. It's just kind of looking like Dr. Boomin might just start running away with this. We're seeing Leiden, when they get their opportunities, they're not quite scoring them. Dr. Boomin is quite able to get on that counter-attack really, really quickly and effectively.
And frankly, after that last piece of off, well, okay, Bennett's going to score here, but when Gek had that opportunity on goal before, Blue Lightning picked up some boost. If they go for the demo there, we're maybe looking at the beginning of a very different game. But ultimately, I think a lack of experience on that third man of Leiden's part is what is maybe causing them to lose out in this higher pressure series. They are going to have another opportunity regardless of how this game winds up. But they don't want to be relying on getting 4 games in a row. It's rare enough to get a best of 7 reverse sweep, and it seems like Blue Lightning is trying to avoid that scenario at all costs. A lovely air dribble to get this out for Finnet. Trying to drop that down to the ground. just a little bit, but they end up falling at the perfect velocity to carry this one into the net.
A beautiful little play from Leiden, taking a page out of Dr. Buman's book with the two-man plays that have been working so effectively for them. Now it's going to bring the game to a 1-goal deficit, a lot more winnable for Leiden now. Maybe their hopes at the start, with a 3-goal deficit, maybe their hopes were just kind of unlikely. They were kind of down, morale wasn't high, but now with a minute 15 left on the clock, anything's possible as we see Finnard try hit the ball over to the orange side. That isn't going to be the case. And Finnard with a bit of a missed touch, and that was a shot on net. Could have really went in, and that could have changed the outcome of this game. But with a minute left, Leiden are still on target, and they are going to put a shot on. Yeah, a minute left, and we are maybe going to see a bit of, a bit of a faster game from Leiden. They're playing a very, very fast game against Dr. Buman, which I don't think they're quite used to. We do know that they're very good defensively, but with 40 seconds left on the clock, anything's possible.
Yeah, fast and messy, I think, is the downfall of Dr. Boom, but Leighton have to avoid falling into the same pitfalls as Roehampton TLR. They were looking strong in parts, but they weren't able to get the goals they needed, especially while they were behind. They tried to force the play and ended up losing so many games off the back of counterattacks from Roehampton Black. And we'll see if Leiden are able to navigate these final 10 seconds and secure a goal here. That one might seal it though. The ball spilling precariously in that blue box. Gek gonna offer up one last opportunity, but denied by Zedo. 0 seconds now. If that ball hits the floor, it's 4 match points. But Dr. Booman and Fabzo is doing absolutely anything to deliver that one to the green stuff.
Yeah, that is going to be Dr. Booman taking game number 3. And Leiden, a bit uncomfortable there, but obviously with the 2 goals to 3 for Leiden, we're seeing them pick up the pace, we're seeing them sort of feel each other a bit more, but Dr. Booman, they are just a total different team. They're on a total different playing field at the moment. They're playing very, very well together, very well individually. And Leiden, we're seeing Finnard kind of pick up the pace a bit, take more of these solo plays, and Blue Lightning with good couple of saves that have been really, really substantial for, the Leiden team. However, I don't know, they're picking up the pace, they're getting, feeling each other out, and they're getting there now. However, it might just be too late for them.
Yeah, as fast as you can go, I'm not sure they can be consistent about it for 20 minutes, which they would have to be, considering, the length of 4 games, and then maybe an overtime in there as well. You have to play too quick, I think, certainly for Blue Lightning's ability, and keep Dr. Booman from winning a single game during that period. And that's just an unreasonable expectation, especially when Zedo is going to be positioned in the box like that, reversing into that ball, getting the cheeky couple of bonus points for it as that ball just pinches so perfectly for him.
Yeah, that pinch completely uncalled for, but Zedo being perfectly positioned in the box is gonna score the first goal of the game. Leiden, they are kind of looking like, they're not taking all the chances that they could be. Finnard making somewhat of a play there in the midfield. You are going to see the ball pass over to Blue Lightning. A shot on net for Fabzo, and that is going to mean 2 goals are going to be scored for Dr. Boom in this game.
Oh, it looked so initially promising. They had that very strong end to game number 3, did Leiden and Dr. Boom, and they've just shut it down again. We talked about it at the start of the last game as well. It's like Leiden were looking stronger towards the end of the game, and then all of a sudden they lost their composure entirely. I do have to wonder if Dr. Booman are just that more experienced, more mature side who are able to regain after a bit of adversity, and Leiden are not adapting quickly enough, or not having enough respect on Dr. Booman after they've been getting those cheeky few goals at the end of the previous game.
Yeah, Dr. Booman definitely are a team that you are going to have to respect. Like they did the first game, obviously they had to play defensively. They had to respect the fact that Dr. Booman were playing super aggressively and they couldn't do anything about it. But this game, it's still not over yet as we go into 3 minutes 30 in the game. 2-goal deficit, easily to come back from, but against a team like Dr. Booman, it's going to be extremely difficult, especially when Leiden aren't properly maximising the plays that they can make. we did see, Finner take a good couple of solo plays which worked out brilliantly, but I think as a team, they're going to have to come together more, just kind of make more passing plays if they're going to want to beat this Dr. Boomin team.
Passing plays like that would have been ideal, very close there from Dr. Boomin. Them, of course, not the ones needing the goals. We need Leighton to be putting up a similar sort of passing play or just going for very quick solo plays, and that's if Dr. Boomin aren't going to attempt to do the same stuff. Match pace with pace. Gek, though, is going to flick one. Are they going to get back on this? There might have been intercepted by Blue Lightning there. Finnet taking a pot shot, but it's gone away from that goal, and Dr. Boomin, I think, getting away lucky following some Leighton miscommunication there.
Yeah, that shot, bit of unfortunate shot placement from Finner there. Obviously, we did see him taking some very good solo plays. So to see a shot placement that isn't as well as the plays that he's just made, it's a bit of an upset for Leiden, especially as that could have been the goal that kind of put them on the right path, taking this game back. However, 2 minutes 15 still on the clock. There's still time left. Blue Lightning trying to take that up the wall. He's going to get a touch. A bit of miscommunication there from Leiden. The pinch is going to go on target, but Gek is going to take this up into the air. Just running out of boost there, and Fabzo now picking up the 100 boost. Plenty of boost in the tank. Make a play out of this, but Blue Lightning is just going to get the early challenge. Sai taking the ball now over Finnard, and we are just seeing this Leiden team sort of scrambling as Zedo is going to put the third goal in the back of the net.
And it is honestly looking a little dire now. We thought the series had promise of maybe going 6 or 7 games, but Dr. Boomin showing that no, that HUD series really isn't a reflection of their ability. They really were just getting started. And Sai now potentially setting up Fabzo, but Finnet dumping all the boost they had to try and keep that one out of the net, and it might not have even been enough there. Gek making a block on the goal line is going to keep navigating through this defense. Blue Lightning now able to get the dunk, and yet again they've started late, but Leiden forcing us to not write off this game just yet.
Yeah, it's better late than never. Leiden are going to bring the game to a 2-goal deficit. But Dr. Boomin, a bit of a mistake on their half with I believe that was just an overcommitment from someone there. However, that could just be all that Leiden need to kind of put them on the right track to taking this game back, to taking their first game of the series. But it is going to be incredibly difficult as Dr. Boomin are 2 goals up compared to their one that they've got. So it is going to be hard, but Sai with a shot there, and that is going to be the 3 goals up. 4-1 to Dr. Boomin, and it's starting to look like they're running away with the game. But we can't write off Leiden just yet, like you mentioned.
3 goals to the goods a lot. I do want to wait a little more time before just saying, nah, they've got it. And reality is, it's like, even if Leiden do give absolutely everything to win this game, they've then got to try and maintain that for another 3 games, and even if maybe Dr. Boomin lose 1 to tilting, that's only a second. They've got to find another 2 games after that, and I rate Dr. Boomin's ability to deal with adversity, as I mentioned before, much better. Oh, Zedo toying with them, running down this clock. Fabzo to the top right-hand corner. Blue Lightning, nothing he can do about that one. The ball going from sidewall to sidewall as Dr. Boomin run down this clock. And you've got to be wondering, is this late inside? Where did it go wrong? What happened since yesterday for things to go from last weekend, for it to go so far backward?
Yeah, Leiden are just not on. I don't believe it's their game. Obviously, we saw them in the Swiss stage, and they played brilliantly. They were very confident after speaking to Finnard last week. Very confident going into the playoffs, but it doesn't look like it has transferred into this game, into this series, as Dr. Boomin are going to take it.
And I think now, very interestingly, we're going to have a very early unexpected matchup between Leiden and Roehampton TLR based on my recollection of how this bracket's shaped up. That's, of course, assuming Roehampton TLR have beaten AP, but, the side from Antwerp has not been looking the strongest throughout the weekend.
No, definitely not. Yeah, they are gonna unfortunately find themselves in the lower bracket. But there is still, they still have a chance. They have their lifeline. Yeah, just looking at the lower bracket, expecting Roehampton TLR to maybe take AP Titans and the Novo and TD Vertigo. I don't think I could call it, but I think Novo Florence might just have the upper hand there.
Yeah, no idea. I mean, I can toss up a 10 coin, I guess, and try and pick based on that. I do think Tud, based on their performance against Boomen, should be the stronger side. We don't know how Boomen were in that series against Tud. In the games that they lost, at least they did all seem close, the ones that Tud got, and it just seemed like Leiden had some close games here, but couldn't win any of them. But I do feel like the scoreline, at least in the case for this series, reflects the gameplay we saw as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, incredible series so far, but I believe now we are going to go on a break. So, yeah, make sure that you are up to date with the socials and, just keeping up to date with, I believe it is EU Masters on everything. So, yeah, keep up to date with the socials. We are posting all of our clips and predictions from the stream. So, we are going to go into a little break and we are going to join you guys back in about 15 minutes or so.
Welcome to the Amazon University Esports Masters Finals!
It's a wonderful thing. I feel privileged about this situation because we were able to achieve something and we are traveling the country, visiting the country and playing the live final.
Our experience, I met a lot of new people that come from so many different places.
Just being with the team and having fun together and actually trying our best to win the competition.
For the first game of the Amazon University Esports Masters Finals. And it's category 5 for Boomen Academy. An absolute hurricane unleashed onto AIX. And they cannot withstand the damage. Dr. Boomen Academy are your 2023 Amazon University Esports Masters champions. And it seems as if Amsterdam Depths in Norway! Only going to take one shimmer on either side to crown this one, and Fabso may just have found it.
Congratulations on your win. As a team now, you get to claim your prize.
Still manages to get a deep. The objectives had been wrong and ended. Second player, they're walking one by one into their graves. Wins Club finally, after a momentary pause.
And to all of you watching at home or wherever you might be, we are all grateful that Amazon University Esports Masters exists.
I ran away, because I ran away. If you listen to the words I say, you know that I'm okay. You know it's just a phase. Don't think I'm leaving, cause I'm not at all. And if you get hurt, it's unintentional. I just wanted you to realize that I'm the one you like, that I'm the one you like. So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Baby, I've been busy missing you. Say, have you missed me too? Say, have you missed me too? Was this intermission good for you? Yeah, was it good for you? Or are you just confused? Don't think I'm leaving, cause I'm not at all. So if you get hurt, it's unintentional. And I know that what I did was typical. I just needed time to show you what you got. So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? A sign from you, telling me you need me here just like I do. All I ever wanted was to make it through. Tell me, how about you? How about you? So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Say you love me. Say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 Anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. But to you I'm anybody. Anybody. But to you. But to you. But to you. Tell me what can I do now? 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 Sometimes I let my guard down. Tell me what can I do now? Sometimes I let my guard down. Tell me what can I do Tell me what can I Tell me what can I do now? Tell me what can
Welcome to the Amazon University Esports Masters Finals!
It's a wonderful thing. I feel privileged about this situation because we were able to achieve something and we are traveling the country, visiting the country and playing the live final.
Our experience, I met a lot of new people that come from so many different places.
Just being with the team and having fun together and actually trying our best to win the competition.
For the first game of the Amazon University Esports Masters Final. And it's category 5 for Booman Academy. An absolute hurricane unleashed onto AIX. And they cannot withstand the damage. To Booman Academy are your 2023 Amazon University Esports Masters champions. And it seems as if Amsterdam dips in Norway. Only going to take one shimmer on either side to crown this one, and Fabso may just have found it.
Congratulations on your win. As a team now, you get to claim your prize.
Still manages to get it deep. The objectives have been wrong and ended. Second player, they're walking one by one into their graves. Wings Club finally, after a momentary pause.
And to all of you watching at home or wherever you might be, we are all grateful that Amazon University Esports Masters exists.
We have one more series to decide who is going to get that auto bid to the grand final in the University Esports Masters Rocket League 2024 playoffs. I'm still Leah. Alec is still Lecky Spec. And we've got Dr. Booman against Pasto, two of the typically toppest teams in Europe. Tell me more.
Yeah, this is going to be an insanely good game to watch. Two really good teams going head-to-head for that grand final spot, as you mentioned. This is going to be a great game to watch, just having a look over at the bracket. Obviously, seeing Pesto, Genoa, they went 4-0 in their first game and in their second. Good sweeps for them. Dr. Buman, a bit of a different story, having the 4-3 with TUD Vertigo in the first, but then the sweep with Leiden that we just saw on stream. Both these teams, very, very good teams. This is going to be an interesting game.
Yes, indeed. And I'm not sure if the lower bracket graphic is quite ready, but I think the results we expected, perhaps in TLR 4, AP Titans 1, Tud Vertigo 4, Novo 3. I think we expected that one to be close. I didn't think we'd quite go that close. I thought Tud was looking quite strong, but Novo clearly showing that Leiden were no joke in their first series either.
No, definitely not. And this is just going to be an insanely interesting rest of the bracket, especially for the lower bracket. It is looking like it's going to be a good run. Obviously, this game is going to be for that grand final spot, like we'd mentioned. Esther Genoa and Dr. Boomin. Both we did expect to make the top 3, so seeing them here isn't a surprise. Obviously, we do believe that Pesto Genoa are going to be the ones to take the grand final. So I think Pesto Genoa are going to have the upper hand here, but we have just come off of a game where we saw Dr. Boomin, a 4-0 sweep, very, very aggressive, and they look confident.
They do, and we've seen in high pressure situations before, they have put up the numbers needed to take down some huge teams. It was Fisher College in that final, Columbia College in the semis at Worlds last year. Absolute behemoths in North America at the time. Pester, of course, could be argued as a bit of a different beast. Arzu, a frequent top 8 maker in the RLCS European qualifiers. And Hydra, a very strong Italian player too, frequently making the regionals back in RLCSX and the 2022 seasons, if memory serves.
Yeah, very, very good teams, have massive reputations to withhold, and we are going into game number 1. So far, nothing off the bat for either team, but a shot is going to go off in favor of Dr. Boomin. That's going to be easily saved now. And we're going to see a bit of a pattern with obviously both teams going into the game, feeling each other out, seeing what the vibe of the game is going to be. However, this could be an opportunity for Pesto, but no one is going to be there. So we are going to just see both these teams take a slow approach to begin with, and I can only believe once the clock ticks down, we are going to see the game ramp up, but that's going to be a shot on net, and that is almost going to kick us off with a goal.
I feel like Boomin did more damage to themselves there. That initial touch to try to save the ball, bounced it around in a way that made it look as though there was a very high risk of a goal being scored. Reality is, I think they didn't need to bungle that anywhere as much as they did, and so just keeping things calm, keeping things cool, despite Pesto Genoa being one of the best teams in Europe, frankly. I reckon you put this lot into a qualifier, they make top 16 in RSCS.
Definitely, that goal is almost going to go in, but that's going to bounce off of the post. And we are still scoreless in game number 1, but we are expected to see that change very shortly with a shot. Is going to go a bit too high. Yeah, Pesto, we are obviously expecting them to take the grand final, so we are expecting them to come out top here, but Dr. Boomin have put up an incredible performance thus far. So with the 4-0 sweep that we just watched, it was incredible. They were at the top of their game, and they look like they might be real competitors for Pesto Genoa. However, right now that is going to be a shot, and that's going to be a save, a well-needed save there in favour of Dr. Boomin.
And these are some nice touches to maintain the offense as well. Still from Pesto Genoa, Dr. Boomin surely can't last too long with his defense, not for a lack of resources perhaps, but just psychologically it's a lot of pressure to have to consistently deliver on not feeling like you're getting a lot of leeway. Zedo I think that was like a musty flick to try and get that off defense. That's a lovely bump of the Dead as well to try to buy some time. The ball sailing over Dead's head now, and Arju gonna have to be very quick for this one, but Sight is gonna get some space in the midfield, looking for a bump now. It's a big bump, and Zeda's gonna open up the scoring here off of that.
Yeah, an incredible bump, and that is gonna make the game 1-0. Sai with a good little pass up to Zedo, and the bump onto Zed there is just going to open up the goal for Dr. Boomin. Hyder isn't able to get back to that. And with 2 minutes on the clock, Dr. Boomin are going to take the first goal of the game. And it looks like they are still continuing their strong streak that we saw on stream.
And it's worth pointing out, these two teams have not played each other since that fateful winners final in CRL Winter. Dr. Boomin lost that one in Game 7. These are two teams who've gone close before. We didn't get to see them play in Swiss because one of Dr. Boomin's players had to go elsewhere. And so this is our first time in a few months seeing them going face to face, trying to measure how well each other are going to do. Zedo popping this one high now. Hyder. One to receive up, popping over the top. That double commit, potentially dangerous, but I think getting the job done regardless. And now Dr. Boomin, the ones on the back foot once again. We saw what they were able to do with the counter-attack though, and here they are.
Yeah, 1 minute 15 on the clock. All we need is a good counter-attack from Pesto Genoa to just kind of take this game into overtime, or to open up the fact that they could just take the game just in general. However, Zed is looking like he is going to be up for a shot that is going to just bounce off of the corner. We're going to see Dr. Boomin now with a good opportunity, but that's going to go back to the backboard. And we are seeing both these teams, they're going for a couple of solo plays. We did see that little passing play, obviously, from Dr. Boomin earlier on. But the solo plays that we are seeing right now maybe aren't going to work necessarily for either team, since we saw Dr. Boomin take such an incredible goal with a passing play. But that's a shot on target for for Dr. Boomin in Pesto Genoa's net. And Pesto Genoa, they're looking like they're kind of on the back foot a bit.
Well, we'll see if that remains. Hyder actually being pushed back a bit here by Zed, but he's going to get the ceiling pitcher still going. Arju in the area, but has to bail from it. Knows that if he dives to that ball, it's going to be a free goal and consequently a free game for Dr. Boomin. I want to give props to Sai, just absolutely doing bits. On 2 occasions, they've almost provided an open net for one of their teammates by taking a solid air dribble, getting a little head of the ball and looking to take out the player in front of it.
Yeah, game number 1 is going to go in favour of Dr. Boomin. Dr. Boomin having the 7 shots in total. That was a very, very aggressive game for them. Also for Pesto Genoa as well. Obviously, they had the 8 shots. So you're seeing both these teams are very, very aggressive teams. They're very good at the game. Obviously, this is high-level Rocket League. But Dr. Boomin just got that one under wraps. Pesto Genoa weren't really able to make many plays in that game. They're kind of just having to sit on the back burner a bit, just kind of sit and play defense. But as we go on into this series, obviously we will get to see them have their opportunities, the moments where they shine, like usual, going into game number 2.
And this could be a very early goal, if not for Sai's block there. Very clutch coming out. Of course, I think they knew exactly what they had to do. They had the resources to do it, but it's always a little nervy when it's your first play on a new map.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very nervy. And Pesto Genoa, they are 1 goal, 1 game down. So, they are going to be a bit worried. They are going to have to sort of play a bit safer. However, this is going to be a bit of a bump. That's going to be a goal for Arju. And we just saw, I don't actually remember what player that was, but chasing Dead. Zedo is just kind of caught in the back there, chased by Dead. He isn't going to be able to get a touch, and that's going to make the goal wide open for Pesto Genoa.
Yeah, if they see the opening thread, they are going to pull that thing until they get a goal out of it. And they have the precision to do so as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
40 seconds gone, though. Definitely a lot of time for Boomin to get back into this, I think, but not while they're still struggling to boost on defense.
Oh, no, they're struggling for boost on defense. That is going to be... It's always going to put them on a bit of a disadvantage. Obviously, the boost being a very, very important factor of the game. A shot is going to go on net. Sai almost kind of securing that one. That isn't going to be the case now on the counter-attack. Dead with a shot. Sai with a good save there. But yeah, the boost is going to be very important. Like I've said before in this, in this stream, we are just going to have to see a lot more tactics. We're going to have to see the bumps, the demos come out, boost control, boost management. We are just going to have to see what team makes more of an effort with those, but that is going to be a shot on net for Dr. Boomin. This is looking like there might be an opportunity. It's going to go off the top right. It's in, and Zero is just going to, secure that.
Yeah, Arju trying everything there to try and get a handle on this ball when it's already halfway in the net. It's very awkward to try and get a touch behind it if you're not already physically in the net. And we saw what they were trying to do with that flip. They were trying to get themselves in the goal, try and get an outwards touch on that ball, and it just didn't happen. And no contact means Dr. Boom just get that light touch, and that's all that's required in the end. We'll see what Genoa can do to respond, though, and it's gone straight to the backboard side with a touch-up without a second one, and a psycho defensively would have been required, essentially, and that fell, I think, quite comfortably into Pesto Genoa's hands. It could have been very awkward for them. RG, though, with a lot of boost, it just kind of reads Zedo's play there. I think they got bumped off in the initial play, but just held on for that.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of aerial play at the minute. Maybe ground play is going to be, the go-to. We're seeing both teams up in the air pretty much for the entire game. That could be dangerous, but it is going to be cleared by Sai. Going into 2 minutes 30 on the clock. We have Pesto Genoa hitting the demo off of the keeper in net. This could be huge. Open up the goal for them. But Sai is just doing wonders for Dr. Boomin at the minute. Just keeping that ball out, and a nice clear over to the Pesto Genoa side is going to just, give them a bit of time to regroup, recover from that demo. We are just going to, we're going to play it a bit faster. We're getting a bit faster in this game. That could be a nice little shot off, but Arju is there nonetheless. Hyder now, maybe with another touch. He's going to leave it for Arju. Zed with the shot. And Sai, he's going to get the save. Yeah, very nice. Going into a minute 30 remaining. We are still tied in the game. Dr. Boomin took the first game. This could be the game that Pesto Genoa need to put them back just on the map. However, Zero now with a nice little touch. Fabzo is going to be there. Maybe this 100 boost. Hyder, he has plenty of time. There's no threat to him at the moment. We go with a pass down to Arju. Fabzo's the only one back. Pesto Genoa, this is looking dangerous. It's over. Fabzo's side. He's going to have to make an incredible save. And Sai has been really, really on the ball defensively this game. Messy overtime, but we're not going to. We're not going to see overtime as Hydra's going to slot that into the back of Dr. Boomin's net. Bit of the side, just not able to read that shot. He's not able to get it. No boost in the tank. We're not going to see overtime unless a miracle happens in this kickoff, but it is going to look like Pesto Genoa is going to take game number 2. Pesto Genoa definitely looked like they were in control of that game. 12 shots that they had compared to the 5 from Dr. Boomin. Yeah, they were very, very offensive. 3 saves to the 9 from Dr. Boomin. So both teams, playing offensively and defensively brilliantly. We go into game number 3, a tied series. So we were expecting, the prediction desk was predicting that Pesto Genoa was going to be the one to take the spot. However, Dr. Boomin are putting up a pretty good fight.
Apparently, I've been muted on stream, so this is very awkward. Hi everyone, I'm back. The frantic DMs I was receiving was someone telling me I was muted. I was watching. What can I pass comment on quickly? Yeah, I think I mentioned Sai being making a lot of plays. Oh, using the goal to pinch the ball out because physics engines are weird. That was the other one. And physics engines being weird once again. I feel like that ball didn't even hit the post, but has bounced sideways. Hyder going to get another opportunity, but it's blocked out by Fabso here.
Yeah, Sai with that, obviously using the post to make the save, like you mentioned, brilliantly. You have to have loads of confidence in order to make a play like that work. Sai on the roof now, going to run out of boost, leave it for his teammate, but Dead with a good block there. Just going to stop that from being a threat on his net. Over to Hyder, who has a chance, maybe set up for the double. Isn't going to get quite the touch. And Sai up with no boost. Leaving it for Fabzo, who's going to take that right over Arju into the hands of Dead, who's just sitting patiently on the wall of Pesto Genoa. Maybe with the pass down over to Hyder, Zeb with a bit of an unfortunate touch. We're not really seeing much happen this game. Arju almost putting that into the back of his own net, using the crossbar effectively to get that over into Dr. Boomin's half.
Sai's touch now. Well, he's not really been afforded one there, has he? Just forced off the ball here. Is going to try and take Arju out of this play. He has to jump early. Not the strongest touch, and since it's so loose, Zedo on low boost has been able to get a piece of that, but not for much reward. Sai now going to carry this one forward, and yet again, this Pesto Genoa side bullying this Boomin defense and forcing the ball back in the direction of the orange net here. I think more required, certainly, to force into the back of the net. We know Dr. Boomin are classically one of the strongest defensive sides, not only in Europe, but in the world in a collegiate context. And we'll see how long it takes for them to either break back out onto offense, as they might be doing so here. Fabso with an opportunity blocked out by Hyder or Vel Crumble to a attack later on. Zedo, though, with a flick, that's got some power on it as well. A bit of venom injected into this offense by that flick. Sai now up high. It's just going to go to Arju, and we know Arju is just going to handle these long balls oh so well, but that long ball has caught everyone off by surprise. That's Dr. Boomin opening up the scoring, and if games today have taught us anything, is that the vast majority of the time, if you score first, you're going to win that game, and with half the game gone, it would seem likely here.
Yeah, we have seen a couple of goals scored like that with a huge clear earlier on in the stream, and that's gonna be another one to add to the tally there, as Dr. Boomin are gonna take the first goal of the game. Are gonna go into 2 minutes of game number 3. Dr. Boomin looking like the stronger team. That bump there, and that's gonna go in the net by Fabzo. That bump onto, I believe it was Hyder in the net. No, it wasn't Hyder in the net. Hyder takes the ball over, and Fabzo is going to shoot that on net. Yeah, the bump from Sai over to Arju is what's going to be able to secure that goal.
And now maybe potential for a third, not to be. Hyder going to make the start to Genoa's offense, pinning this ball off the ceiling, but Sai with high boost is just going to do the exact opposite, dropping down for Fab. So it's high, it's a bit loose, but Hyder, the one to clear this on low boost, and it feels like a bit of a weak clear attempt, but when a pinch is there to follow it up like that, it all of a sudden becomes an awful lot scarier. Sai playing it across the face of his own net. Lucky that Hyder's 50 wasn't strong enough to force it into back and allow Genoa back into this game here.
Yeah, playing it in front of your net, not exactly something that you want to be doing against a team like Pesto Genoa, who are able to just capitalize on every single play. However, the minute 15, they are still 2 goals down in game number 3. They are going to have to sort of just use each other more, make more passing plays, because we're not really seeing that much from the Pesto Genoa side compared to Dr. Boomin, who seems to have that under control as they're going to try and bring it over into the blue side. RG with a bit of an unfortunate touch. Ball's going to bounce over in front of the net. Nothing's going to come from it. Arju on the counter attack tries to get flip reset. He is going to get it and use it, but isn't going to go to his advantage now. Sai, good flick over Hyder. Path to Fabio is just going to fake that now, but dead. Good touch over to Hyder. Is going to fake it for Arju to take the ball. Maybe open up the field for Dead. It's going to go crossbar down. It's in. Zedo with the save. And that could have been a chance for Pesto Genoa, but it's still in front of the net. And Dead is not going to be able to make a shot.
I don't know how obvious it was there, but Zedo got like the tiniest touch, and I think it changed the angle on it to throw off one of the Genoa offensive players there. And that's what's bought them enough time here, I think. Not only do Pesto Genoa need a goal right now, they're going to need basically a kickoff goal immediately following it. Hyder tucking that one in is going to open up the opportunity here. An opportunity for overtime. I said this last game and it didn't work out so well, but with an extra 4 seconds on the clock, maybe we see a different outcome here.
Yeah, 5 seconds on the clock compared to the one from earlier on. This could be the kickoff goal that Pesto Genoa need. Second down 4-3 to 2-1. We are going to see a shot on target, but it is just going to hit the floor, and Dr. Boomin are going to ultimately take game number 3.
I thought we were going to see an almost American football style, just hold the defense in place with our almighty strength. But no, one player was free. You can't keep all 3 players stuck when there's only 2 of you, or at least not forever. And Dr. Boomin, despite a late scare, are going to have the lead once again here.
Yeah, they are going to have the lead, and they seem to have that game very under control as well. Pesto Genoa obviously being with a 1-goal deficit. Pesto Genoa had 11 shots compared to the 8 from Dr. Boomin. So Dr. Boomin, they utilised their shots and their teammates a lot more. They had 5 saves compared to Pesto Genoa's 6. So this is still a very, very even game. 1-goal deficit still. So both teams are playing evenly, and they're both just kind of getting the better of the other team when they need it.
That they are, yeah. And I think more work to do, obviously. They've got another 2 games, and Genoa are really no joke. Like there should be absolutely no question over how strong they can be when the moment comes. But in the one time they've played, we know that these teams weren't close, and Dr. Boomin, with this advantage now, are poised, I think, to be the better in the series overall.
Yeah, definitely. Now going into game number 4, Dr. Boomin are just coming off of that win, and they are going to be able to hopefully keep the morale up and keep that streak going. Pesto Genoa, yeah, they are no joke, like you said, and they are a very, very good team. So, we are going to hope to see Pesto Genoa get back in the groove of things. We do know that they're a very, very good team. Just overall, they are no joke. To see them maybe take more of a slow defensive playstyle than what maybe they're used to, it might be throwing them off a little bit, but that shot could have been in for Pesto Genoa, but it is just going to go wide and it is going to be cleared. Fabio is going to pass over to Zedo now, looking for the double. But there is a bit of a double commit from Pesto Genoa, and we see that Sai's up. He isn't going to make contact with the ball, and Hyder with the clear is going to send the ball over to the orange half.
Not for too long is that ball going to be back in the blue half, though, is it? Pesto Genoa seemingly continuing with this horrifyingly strong offense, but continuing to struggle actually getting it over the goal line here. And in fact, that's an opportunity. Sai looking for the drive-by challenge, trying to force either a flick or a bump, but instead the defender jumping early. Good use of the space. Sai with that flick, though, again forcing an awkward touch. And I feel like Boomin, despite not getting as many opportunities, are far more critical on offense. Oh my god, what a bump. Fabso doing absolutely everything there. Another bounce out. This ball been bouncing around the blue box for so long, and it would be so deserved for a goal. but I don't think we're going to see one just yet as Boomin resets, grabs some boost. Zedo looking for a touch now, but blocked out by Dead. Fabso with the follow-up, going to flick one, look for Hydra on the bump, but Hydra has enough boost to get up for this ball. Zedo with a follow-up now, Dead in an awkward position, is still going to deal with Psy. I talked about them being more efficient. There have definitely been some of the more potent shots in this game, but it seems it's going to be all too little as Pesta Genoa on the counter-attack deliver the first goal of game number 4.
Yeah, a good shot from Hydra there that's leaving Zedo with no boost whatsoever to get back to that ball. And that is going to be the first goal for Pesta Genoa. That could put them on the right step. That could put them in the swing of things to take back the series. Of course, they are down by 1 game. But, you know, best of 7, there is still plenty of time to come back from this. But that could be a shot on net. It's going to go over to the corner for Dr. Boomin. And we're just kind of seeing both teams. They are still feeling each other out. Obviously, this is game number 4, but you can tell that they are trying different strategies, trying to see what works. We're seeing a lot more solo plays, and Sai, he is just going to slot that one in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? I mean, I respect what Hyde was trying to do, but the rest of his team didn't seem to be on board there, seemingly trying to move up into that second-man position, which Arju had already filled, really. And that little miscommunication, a misunderstanding of the play, is what leads to it, and it's why quick, reliable comms are so important at this level of the game.
Definitely. Now going into the final 2 minutes of the game. Obviously, it's 1-0, well, 1-all for Pesta Genoa and Dr. Boomin. This is gonna, secure who gets into the grand final. The series is, but there still is a long way to go. Obviously, Pesta Genoa are on the back foot a little bit. They seem to be getting back into the swing of things. You can see Dead maybe within opportunities. Up, gets the flip reset. It's going to use it late over Fabio, but Sai is there just to kind of secure the ball away from his net. Zed, low on boost, going to leave it for Fabio in the net, but that is going to go over to the blue half. Hyder with a shot opportunity. It's just going to get that out of the way, and as we go into the final minute of the game, we're not seeing any of these teams kind of look too strong right now. It's kind of just very, very even.
I like what Zedo and Sai were doing there. Zedo looked to have a first touch on the plate, let it go by for Sai, who was in a much better position there, and able to get them on offense. It's another potent counter-attack there. It's off both posts. Sai, what can he do? It's nothing as Arju looked to pile on the pressure again, but the reality is it was already almost over the goal line. I think Sai was slightly the wrong approach angle here. Almost had the read, but advanced a little too far forward for his car.
Yeah, the passing play is what's going to be needed to score that goal, and a very, very good read there. But now 50 seconds left. It's going to put Pesta Genoa on the good foot. That's a shot, and Arju is going to secure the 3rd goal of the game, and it is going to look like Pesta Genoa are going to run away with game number 4.
And as soon as it looked like we were in a deadlock, it was Dead Monster to really put Dr. Boomin on the rear foot there. The player cheating for Dr. Boomin, just flying through the play, not making any contact, and a fabulous dribble. It's kind of unspoken, I think, how important that ground play can be, especially just after the kickoff when everyone's on low boost and there's not a lot anybody can do about some of these balls. Sai, though, looking to make things for the right. Harju and Haida both missing here, but Dead wet again, cleaning this up. Babso trying to stall out this play, but much more than just stalling required. This ball needs to be making headway down towards the blue end of the pitch right now. We've had some late goals previously, but nothing to force an OT just yet. And with the orange team floundering in their own box, it seems awfully unlikely, and well, it's all but confirmed now. That ball is going to hit the ground or into the back of the orange net, and Pesta Genoa will have tied up the series once again. It's our closest on stream so far today.
Yeah, the closest on stream, and we have a game number 6 guaranteed for the stream. It's gonna be a very good series. Obviously, we were expecting it to be a pretty good series as well. 2 very, very good teams going head to head for this grand final spot. Pesta Genoa obviously running away with that game a little bit. They had the 8 shots compared to the 5 from Dr. Boomin. It did kind of look very, very even in some parts, But then once Pesto Genoa got into the swing of things, they were able to just kind of run away with the game and just kind of dance around Dr. Boomin.
I'd like to think it would have been a very different game if the Boomin play, where the ball just seemed to keep bouncing around the blue net. If it had gone in there, maybe we see a game where Boomin are able to force match point, but you can't always force that play into the back of the net. Genoa did everything at the right time with the right amount of boost in order to keep themselves in the play. However, when boost is scarce, like just after a kickoff, it becomes a lot scarier. And Arju, looking to make a play, Sai is going to use an awful lot of boost, trying to keep this one in the box. It's a double tap, not well read by some of the other players on the pitch, but it is going to afford Dr. Boomin a lot of boost. Ida, though, on no boost, with a pass out to Dead Monster. Boost, no object apparently to the Italians, and they're going to open up the scoring in game number 5 here.
Pesto Genoa with a nice little passing play into the open net. Fabzo can't get back to that in time, and that is going to open up the game in favour of Pesto Genoa. And this, we might just be in for game number 7. I hope we do get it. It would be very good to see that on stream. And Zedo, he is just going to get the first goal for Dr. Boomin. It might look like we get this game 7, but nice little play from Sai over to Zedo, just going to slot that in the back of the net.
And playing the ball behind these players is the name of the game I think we've been talking about most of the day. It's very hard to turn your car around on the ground. It's even harder once you're already in the air. And what Zedo did, saw the defender had committed to a ball which was going to be slightly closer to the near post, change that direction, put it behind them. And that ultimately is what's going to secure them goals here. I think the sudden and last minute changes in direction that catch these players off guard, and they just have to provide opportunities for that while not giving loose balls to the opposing team.
Yeah, definitely that is going to be something that's going to be crucial for these teams to maximise. Going now into the orange half, there's going to be a nice demo from RJ there. He's able to turn back on that ball, make the most of the play. Is going to take a shot on net, but Zero is going to be there to secure that ball out of Dr. Boomin's net. It's looking like the pressure from Pesto Genoa is kind of being a bit too much for Dr. Boomin, but Zed maybe with an opportunity now. It's going to flick the ball up high for Sai. Gets the flip reset. He is going to use it. It isn't going to go in the back of the net. Now is the chance for the counter attack from Pesto Genoa. Either waiting for that ball, not able to get the touch that he wanted. He's going to leave it for Dead, and Arju just going to rotate back around and get a good shot now. Either a bit of an unfortunate touch from him there. It's not going to go exactly the way he wanted, but Pesto Genoa still keeping up the pressure into the final 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Sai taking it nice and slow, affording time for his team to get upfield. Fabs, of course, already had these, but Zedo a little lacking to want to take that ball forward regardless. So, but again, it was a loose touch. I feel like there's plenty of different ways of defining it, but if you're just handing the ball off to an opponent like that, you're wasting the resources you've dedicated to the play. You want to either end with taking a load of boost off your opponents, or taking some of them off the map, or, best case scenario, a goal. And that might take a bit of time, but you have to be patient for it. And they might have been afforded one here. Zedo, is it under the bar? It's not. That's disaster for Dr. Boomin. There's surely Pesto Genoa will be looking the stronger on a counter offense now.
Well, Dr. Boomin's still kind of keeping up a little bit of pressure, but that is soon going to fade away. Dead and Fabs are both not able to make a touch. Sai with another touch there. Yeah, a good clear now from Pesto Genoa, maybe able to start the counter attack. Arju with a touch over to Zed with a shot on net, and that's the counter attack that we're on about. Pesto Genoa able to bring this game to a 1-goal deficit.
And Zed had a wide open net, let's not forget. If Dr. Boomin are going to rue any mistake from that series, it's not going to be some of the missed opportunities in game number 2. It's not going to be about them crumbling in game number 4. It's going to be the fact they missed an open net to secure a game in a critical game 5 here. And I think Zedo surely will be feeling the pressure as well, even though they secure that brilliant opener or equaliser even for Dr. Boomin in this game.
Yeah, open net. It's gonna be missed. We were bummed to see you on this stream, but in a game like this, where it matters so much, Yeah, you don't want that at all, and he's going to be kicking himself for that. Is dead. He's going to slot another one in. That is a hat trick for him this game. Nice little touch from Hyder off of the wall. Pass over to Zed, and Sai isn't able to read the shot. That is just going to go in.
That's so much precision as well. Like that's the kind of stuff we're looking for. The ball is moving, you know, like almost 90 degrees to where you're trying to put it. It's one of the hardest touches, I think, to get in the game, because of the amount of variance you get from very tiny changes in the angle at which you get the ball. But they did exactly what they had to, did Pesto Genoa. They got the ball in a good position, just to the right of net, and they turned it in like that.
Yeah, they are making the most of each other, definitely. They're making a ton of good team plays. Dr. Boomin we just saw with a nice little passing at 7. Unfortunately, that isn't going to go in the back of the net. A bump over the side is going to leave this maybe open, but Fabzo is in the back of the net. And passes over the sides. Plenty of boost in the tank to take over Arju. Picking up the 100 boost, but he is just going to get demoed as well as we go into the final 40 seconds of the game. Does look like Pesto Genoa have this. If Dr. Boomin are able to get it, no, they're not able to get that. That would have been incredible. We've saw so many clear shots like that today in this stream. As we go into the final 30 seconds, it does look like Pesto Genoa do have the upper hand.
I mean, if definitely would have been a way to get back into this game, and I think maybe just trying to take a pot shot at that point is not the worst possible play you can make. You need something. It doesn't matter if you go 4-1 down. It doesn't matter if you don't get any opportunities later. At least you tried to win this game. Right now, it seems like they're going to have a struggle. It's another late goal, though. Although we didn't see the last two work out, it's another opportunity to force OT here for Dr. Boomin.
Another 1-goal deficit game. It looks like that might be the end scoreline, but we're going to go into kickoff. This could be crucial for Dr. Boomin to bring us to overtime. Fabzo off of the wall. Arju is just going to slam that ball down into the ground, and that is going to make Pesto Genoa take the series so far. 3-2 in the series, and they're looking pretty confident.
And I think they'd be right to be as well. Dr. Boomin not looking so front-footed, especially after Zedo's miss. Even though they were putting up numbers in that game, throwing an opportunity away like that to gain the lead, to get a match point on Pesto Genoa, I think you haven't seen since December. It stings. It hurts. And now they've got to go in all over again. They've got to spend the next 10 minutes beating this Pesto University side, and they've had an issue closing out series against them before.
Yeah, Dr. Boomin will be kicking themselves for that, especially that open goal. Pesto Genoa having 5 shots that game compared to Dr. Boomin's 7. Dr. Boomin, they did look like they had that game, at the first half. They looked pretty comfortable, and Pesto Genoa just kind of ran away with it. I think that miss on the open net was kind of what set Dr. Boomin on a bit of the back burner, really. Missing an open net, we've done such a crucial game, kicking yourself, maybe getting your morale a little bit low. However, there is still chance and opportunity for them to come back, but they are going to have to put up their A game if they want to beat Pesto Genoa.
That's Zedo's passes one out to the side. I feel like with a bit more patience, maybe another one of Dr. Boomin players could have turned that into the net after an uncharacteristic whiff from Arju. But for Genoa turning it around just as quickly as I try to criticise them for that play, they're almost finding the doink there. Dr. Boomin now with a return player of their own Fabzo, I think wisely playing this one out to the side and looking for a follow-up touch. That net was looking pretty full at the time, and forcing out a bit more boost was going to be required before a goal was a likely outcome.
Yeah, definitely now going into... There's been a minute already gone off the clock. No goal yet. However, it is looking like maybe Dr. Boomin have a chance here. There is... Well, it's just going to go up high, but Arju able to control it now. Zero turning on that ball. Again, a good little touch there, Sai. Pass out off the Fabs, but Arju's up. If Arju got that touch, it could have been really detrimental. However, Sai can't quite get another touch. Fabzo hitting it off of the backboard. Pass over to Zero. It's going to go crossbar down, and that's going to go in for Fabzo. A brilliant little passing play there. It's going to secure the first goal for Dr. Boomin.
I'm looking at this defense though, and I'm really not sure the crossbar player is required. I think Zedo is still struggling to finish in front of net there, and Fabzo being required is probably not going to be the confidence booster that Zedo was after.
No, maybe not. However, they are still gonna take the goal number 1, which is gonna put them on the right foot. However, they still do have to win this game if we want to go to game number 7. We do have Fabzo just gonna pinch the ball beautifully off the sidewall with a nice little shot. Dead, a soft touch, but it is gonna save the ball nonetheless. Going over to Zedo is just gonna kind of just hit the ball off the wall, not really effectively, not really doing much with it. A bit of a double commit from Dr. Boomin, going to leave Dead with a shot. Sai easily able to save, and the ball's going to go back down. Nice little clear out. Arju and Dead are going to be able to just take their time here. Maybe a pass over the Hyder, but Sai already up. With 2 minutes 40 left on the clock, Dr. Boomin are looking very, very strong.
They are looking strong, but they are also looking vulnerable. A double tap from Hyder is going to be the equaliser, and Pesto Genoa showing that even though Dr. Boomin may have had the lion's share of the offense, it does not take much of a lapse in judgment for Pesto Genoa to strike back.
No, brilliant equaliser goal from Hyder there, and that could just be what Pesto Genoa need to set them off. Now, Sai gonna get demoed, but a flip attempt was made nonetheless. Dead. And I get the flip, but he can't quite get it. The ball's just gonna roll up the wall in favour of Dr. Boomin. Fabzo gonna send that one high. It's just gonna be cleared up by Arju, and the ball going over to the midfield. Maybe a double commit there from Arju and Hyder isn't gonna be too punishing yet. Zedo hitting the ball over to the corner now. We are just trying to see both teams take advantage of any mistakes that are being made. We are seeing a couple of double commits, obviously. We have just saw that one there. But we are just going to maybe have to see the teams put a lot more pressure on and just really punish these mistakes.
I don't know if I'm being overly harsh here, but nice demo. But it felt like Sai just handed the ball off to Pesto's defense when they were in that 2v1 situation. If they'd taken that play a little bit slower, allowed one of their teammates to get in front, or even let the ball for Zedo, who I think was directly behind, it could have been a very different play. And instead, this sequence of play is going to fall Pesto Genoa's way. Hyder getting a very solid 50 out. Zedo can only do so much with very little boost, and Dead's going to use their remaining boost to stay glued to that ball as it is driven home.
Yeah, Pesto Genoa taking second goal of this game with 1 minute 30 left. Dr. Boomin are going to have to do something, but Pesto Genoa have been very, very strong. Very hard to beat Sai with an awesome read, but is going to be saved nonetheless. Fabzo, little shot there, but it's just going to be too weak. Hyder in the midfield getting that 50. Yeah, we are gonna maybe see Pesto Genoa with another opportunity here. Sai with 100 boost isn't really the touch he wanted, but he's able to get another one to make sure the goal isn't going to go in the back of the net. With a minute remaining, this could go anywhere. Dr. Boomin just needs to pick up the pace.
And more than just the pace, we're going to need to be more clinical. I had a complaint about Genoa's earlier in the series, but they've been able to finish the job off on offense and on counters so much more easily, whereas Dr. Boomin have been lacking that department. Fabzo now with a pass out. Sai is there waiting, but Arju and indeed the entire Genoa defense has full boost tanks, looking surely the ones to make the final now. Arju, opportunity to shot cut off by Zedo. We're going to follow up anyway. Zedo, Sai even trying to force that touch, but Dead, not gonna do too much by way of pushing that towards the goal. 18 seconds now. Boomin, patient, making sure their final opportunity, perhaps of this series, at least counts for something. Fabzo now dropping the ball down, Sai whistling for something, but it's gone loose. Arju controlling this. Zedo looking for an interruption, trying to allow Fabzo onto this play, but Arju is still carrying this. It's been pinched up and Dead to finish the job. A 4-2 series for Genoa, and Dr. Boomin will have to wait for their revenge another day.
Yeah, nice little goal just to secure the series for Pesto Genoa. Nice pass from RG over to Dead. Pesto Genoa, they are going to take the series, like you mentioned, 4-2 in a very, very good sort of fashion. Obviously, losing 2 games it was a very evenly matched series. However, Pesto Genoa, we did just see, take a bit more of a better approach towards all the games that they played, minus the ones where they lost. But yeah, it was a very, very even series.
Yeah. And it's, normally I talk about Neo Tokyo being the turning point of a lot of series. That game 6 allows a team who is 2-3 behind a way to break back into that series, and sometimes a losing team who appears to be on a resurgence is maybe on the way to reverse sweep tends to drop the ball around that point. The other team starts to make some adaptations, so the pressure finally gets to them, and in that particular case, the pressure got to Dr. Boom and hadn't been scoring so strongly for a little while, and at last they crumbled.
Yeah, that definitely, that open goal that was missed from Dr. Boomin, that is going to be, I think that's a real upset. That could have changed the game quite, substantially. Could have changed the scoreline, could have changed what we just saw there. Could have maybe went to a best of 7. However, it wasn't the case. We are just going to see, Pesto Genoa take that. We are going to go to a little break now. We are going to have an interview after the break with one of the players, I believe from Pesto Genoa. We are yet to find out. So stay tuned. Make sure that you follow the socials, UE Masters, everywhere. And yeah, we will catch you after the break.
Welcome to the Amazon University Esports Masters Finals!
It's a wonderful thing. I feel privileged about the situation because we were able to achieve something and we are traveling the country, visiting the country and playing the live final.
Our experience, I met a lot of new people that come from so many different places.
Just being with the team and having fun together and actually trying our best to win the competition.
For the first game of the Amazon University Esports Masters Final. And it's category 5 for Booman Academy. An absolute hurricane unleashed onto AIX, and they cannot withstand the damage. Dr. Booman Academy are your 2023 Amazon University Esports Masters champions. And it seems as if Amsterdam Dempsey, no way! Only going to take one shimmer on either side to crown this one, and Fabso may just have found it.
Congratulations on your win. As a team now, you get to claim your prize.
Still manages to get a deep. The objective has been wrong and second player, they're walking one by one into their graves. Wins Club finally, after a momentary pause.
And to all of you watching at home or wherever you might be, we are all grateful that Amazon University Esports Masters exists.
And we're back, and with a special guest as well. On my furthest side over there is Hyder from the winning side, Pasto Genoa. Do you
Hello.
have anything to say about that performance? You guys absolutely killed it games 5 and 6.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot together right now, so we were expecting this kind of performance already. We didn't expect that kind of performance from Dr. Booman though. They came really strong on that series, to be honest. So yeah, we have to like change some things, and then it still worked out. So good. It was a really good game. So yeah.
It was a really good game to watch. Definitely, we enjoyed casting over. It was a good game to watch. We saw Dr. Boomin take the 4-0 sweep in the game in the series beforehand. You guys 4-0 sweeped the entire way through, minus that game with Dr. Boomin. How have you felt that your run went in the playoffs?
We felt confident. We didn't like panic or something else. We're really we're three really good players, so yeah. We are like used to the pressure of the tournament, so yeah, we just came here and played the game like we used to.
And like you always seem to, you've yet to drop a series, as far as I'm aware, in any competition. If I'm not mistaken, at least in the collegiate scene,
Yeah.
which is a nuts record. It has to be said. Not even Boomin could do that last year in Europe. And of course, they and Pulsar ODS, who aren't in this event, have been your biggest threats this year. But again, yet to take a series. They've both got a game 7 against you. Boomin got a game 6 just now.
Yeah.
What do you think they're missing to really take you, beyond that game 7 and actually get a series off you?
Well, I can't really tell our secrets, you know.
We can try to tempt you.
I mean, just play with confidence, and I mean, Dr. Boomer played with confidence at the start, and we didn't really expect that from them because they played really fast. So we kind of like we are slow starters. So yeah, we kind of like took 2 games to adjust to the speed, and then like we just played on the speed and we won because I think we are the better players. So.
It definitely looked like the better players at the end of that game. Obviously, you picked up your pace very quickly at the end of that game to secure that 4-2 win against Dr. Boomin. Now, looking at the rest of the bracket, obviously you guys have just secured your grand final spot. Is there any other team, in the top 8 that you think could pose a bit of a threat? Obviously, Dr. Boomin are kind of up there. With the prediction desk, we did believe Dr. Boomin might make top 3, but is there any other team that you think might be a bit of a threat?
I don't think so. At least right now. I really think Dr. Boomin is still like the best team to go against us. So yeah, we're not like finding the other games really too hard. So apart from Dr. Boomin, I don't think there's anyone else who can like get us to beat us or like take us to game 6 or 7. So yeah.
Now, I know at different times you've had to play from different parts of Europe. I believe Arju is still currently in the UK for preparation with Endpoint. Yeah. Does the physical distance impact you as a team, do you think? Or are you adapting to the situation well?
Nah, it doesn't impact us at all. I mean, we talk a lot together because we are friends of the game as well, so we don't mind this at all. So yeah, we just play the game. Even like there's like, I don't know, distractions, if you want to say that, but
no, that's entirely reasonable. I haven't quite seen any lower bracket results yet to tell you, who's made the top 4. I think it would be reasonable to expect that one of the Roehampton sides, I think Roehampton Black had double Vertigo to have made it. Leiden, were you a little surprised by their result earlier in the bracket?
I mean, Leiden, they have Gek, right?
Gek Infinite.
Yeah, Gek is a really decent player. I didn't really see like what they do. Like we just like focus on us, so I didn't really see what they did like today. But you said
Yeah, I
they were
mean,
in lower, so I kind of expected, to be honest. Can't really say anything. I didn't see like how they played, so I can't really say anything about it. But
fair
I know
enough.
that Gek is a really good player, so yeah, he can easily win those games. Although I still think he will lose to Dr. Booman or maybe Roehampton Gold. I think it's called like that, right?
They've gone by many names this year. It's
Okay.
fine.
I know they have two teams, so yeah, it's kind of confusing.
Anything else from you, Alec?
Yeah, obviously, you're very, very confident. You don't think any other team is going to be much of a threat. Do you believe, Dr. Boomin, you are going to see a rematch of them in the grand final?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I don't see them losing, even though it happened like in another tournament. But I don't like that how they played today. I don't see them like losing against the other team. So we probably rematch them in the grand finals tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be
So
a
I'll
very,
say
very
good
good
luck to
grand
them.
final.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a good grand final to watch, definitely.
All right. Well, I think we're all out of questions for you. Thank you so much for spending some time to answer them, and best of luck to you, Dead and Argy, going forward.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
And well, with that, I think we're slowly going to bring today towards its conclusion. I'm not sure if we have a lower bracket graphic, but maybe we could have a look at the upper bracket after the conclusion of that game, or at least maybe we can infer some stuff about it.
Yeah, well, like we just heard there, Pastor Genoa, they are looking very, very confident. They're feeling confident as well, obviously going into that grand final spot where they believe Dr. Boomin will also join them for a rematch. However, that is yet to be decided. We will see that tomorrow, that grand final play out, as well as the lower bracket. But it's going to be a good one. Pastor Genoa, obviously, we did predicted them to go very, very far. We predicted that they would make the grand final, so they're there. They have confirmed that they are one of the best teams in Europe, and it will be good to see who join them in the grand final.
And it looks like we may have had a result through there, because I see Leiden written into the Lemmer semi-final match, which means they must have beaten Roehampton TLR, I suppose. And there's a confirmation, a 4-2 series. Roehampton Black potentially going to be the better of the two sides here. I'm just going to try and grab some of the replays they've had, and no, there's nothing really available, unfortunately, online. We'll have to see if any of the other results come through in a bit. Well, check our socials. Check our socials. They're down below me here. They're down below Alec, like over there. And any closing thoughts, Alec, before we do throw this to the stream close?
That was just an incredible series to cast. It has been incredible to watch, incredible to cast, and it's going to be a great grand final and a great stream tomorrow. So make sure that you are going to stick around for that. Make sure you tune in, as we're going to see some pretty good Rocket League. Apart from that, that's all from me.
Right, that's all from me too. Ta-ra.